Hello, 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 everyone. Happy Saturday. My name is Duchess, and this is where we talk about true crime and missing cases. How's everybody doing out there? It is Saturday, February the 21st at 1:04 p.m. here on the coast of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. How's everybody doing today? We're getting some rain here. It is 62 degrees and overcast and cloudy. We've got a gale warning here. We're going to talk about day 4 of the Stand Your Ground hearing in the Scott Spivey family versus Weldon Boyd and Bradley Kenneth Williams. I'm very sorry. I apologize. I was not able to stream yesterday. I had a terrible migraine after listening to Weldon Boyd testify. And it just sent me over the edge, y'all. I had to log out and do some self-care. And unfortunately, Friday, I was not feeling well. So I had to take the time to take care of myself. But I do want to review. Many of you already know the outcome that happened, and we call that a victory. So I just wanted to talk about what happened in that case yesterday and review some of the things that happened in the hearing, talk about some of the articles and things that occurred in that case. Welcome, Kathy. It's good to see you. How are you doing? So I'm going to play a couple of my intro songs so that I can get everything situated. I couldn't get my by the way, I just want to let you guys know, if you ever try to join a panel and it says your devices are not connected, let me tell you what just happened to me. My device was not connected for me to join StreamYard. And what had happened was, in my settings, there was a little button that says you have to allow apps to access your microphone. If you do not have that setting turned on, you will not be able to share your camera and your microphone with StreamYard. So if you're streaming from your phone, if you're streaming from a laptop or a tablet, and you take the link to join a panel on StreamYard or Restream, you always want to check your settings and make sure that you are able to share your microphone and camera with other apps. If you happen to have that turned off, that would be why you're getting device not connected. Just a tip from Dutchie. I'm a help channel. I'm a little help channel. I'm not a big help channel, but I'm a little help channel. Dragon, I've been wondering where you been at, girl. How you been? Are you doing okay? I hadn't seen you around in a little bit. I hope you're doing good, sis. It's good to see you. Hey, Matthew, I'm glad I'm feeling better too. Thank you so much. I hope you're having a fantastic Saturday. So we're going to jump right into it. I'm going to play our 9-mile intro that I wrote on behalf of the Scott Spivey case. And I have a new little ditty to share with you that I wrote after I heard, yes, I wrote it just last night. SUNO AI, I just want to give them a shout out. They helped me to put my thoughts and feelings about things into a song. And so I wrote a little ditty, and I'm going to share it with you guys. You guys are going to get the exclusive. Nobody's heard this song. But first, I want to play the 9-mile intro. So let's go.
Headlights on that two-lane blacktop, dust kicking up in the mirror behind. You were just trying to make it home, man. He was tailgating hate and pride. 9 miles of curses and high beams, heart racing faster with every sign. Pulled off thinking this will cool it. He pulled up saying now it's my time. 9 miles down Highway 9, one man Shell still warm where the body lay. He was already calling his buddies, spinning that story to keep him safe. Yeah, I feared for my life, y'all heard me. He came at me, had that crazy look. But fear don't chase folks for counties, that ain't how self-defense reads in the book. No. 9 miles down Highway 9, one man followed, one man died. One man telling tall tales on the line, while a mama breaks down inside. Took a life, he must pay the price. You can't hide the truth in blue lights. 9 miles down Highway 9, one man dead, one man alive. In the courtroom, air feels heavy, pictures framed in a shaking hand. Judge looking down past the Bible, jury weighing out a wicked plan. You can pray on every Sunday, you can shake the sheriff's hand, but when you hunt a man and gun him down, that blood still soaks your land. Yeah. 9 miles down Highway 9, one man followed, one man died. One man telling tall tales on the line, while a mama breaks down inside. He took a life, he must pay the price. You can't hide the truth in blue lies. 9 miles down Highway 9, one man dead, one man alive.
Y'all like that song? I've had a lot of people tell me that that is a true song, Kathy. And I just, listen, sometimes the best way to say it is to put it into a song. So thank you, X. I appreciate that. And thank you for renewing your membership. I appreciate you supporting the Dutch Bus.
Seatbelts, everyone! Double Dutch bus coming down the street.
And shout out to Miranda Rabin, who became a YouTube member. Thank you, Miranda. I think Miranda might be renewing also. So thank you, Miranda, wherever you are out there. If you're watching this live with me today, or you're catching this on the replay, thank you so much for taking the time to watch these videos and support what we do here on Dutch Girl Adventures. So, please hit the like. Please share this out. That's a free way that you can support this channel, but you can also support by joining the membership. So thank you guys so much for being here. Now, I did hear the end of the outcome yesterday. It was pretty, I literally cried, because sometimes where I live here in Horry County, South Carolina, we feel like we don't always get justice in these cases. And I think that's probably why I had a migraine, because I have literally been on the edge of my seat waiting to find out what is going to happen in this case, because this case for immunity being granted, if Weldon and Kenneth Williams were to get immunity, they cannot face a criminal trial to be charged with the death of Scott Spivey. And it's really critical. We can't be exacting vigilante justice out in these streets. We do have the right to defend ourselves. There is stand your ground laws in place. But, and like I said, I do share my thoughts and opinions, and everyone is entitled to have theirs. This is not an echo chamber. I just ask that you guys please be respectful to each other in the chat when sharing those opinions. Hey, Miranda, it's good to see you. Thanks for joining the membership. I think that might be a renewal, but it's so good to see you. Thank you for being here. Hey, Stacy. And hello, Huge. Thank you for being here. Hope you're having a great Saturday. these cases are so very important because we have a lot going on here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We have the Micah Miller case, and I understand that there are some new developments. I didn't cover Micah's case because I was taking care of my father, who was in hospice, and then he passed away. So that was a case that I really did not have the time to invest in covering on my channel, and there was a lot of other people covering it, and I support many of the locals who have been out there every Sunday picketing in front of the church. I know a lot of the people that have been covering this case, and I appreciate their coverage, because I do feel like there is more information that's going to come out, and we may have a live stream to cover some of those things in the future. We also have Tyler Doyle that's missing. Same situation. We feel like there is some corrupt situations going on with the South Carolina DNR, which is why that case was turned over to SLED. And then, of course, we have this Scott Spivey case. And there are other cases that are actively happening in this area. Let's not forget, South Carolina also had the Murdoch case. Yeah, and Mark Tinsley, which we call him the Tiger, did such a fantastic job defending the Spivey family, but he was also involved in the Murdoch trials. He also joined up with the J.P. Miller trial. You know, he is a fantastic attorney, and I'm just really grateful for all the work that he did for the Spivey family. So in light of that, I do have a song that I want to share with you guys that I made on behalf of the outcome of this. And I titled this song Judge Griffith, because he is actually the hero in this moment. So I'm going to share that song with you, and then we're going to dive in to day 4, and I'm going to share my thoughts and opinions about what happens in this case. So I want to go ahead and share that song with you. This is the first time that I'm sharing this. You guys let me know in the comments what you think about it, and let's go. Let's do it.
Horry County morning, courthouse smell of rain. Spivey family in the courtroom, mama shaking from the pain. Highway 9 in my rear view, still burning to my mind. 9 long miles of anger, you can't call that self-defense this time.
He tried to wrap himself in that law, tried to wear it like a crown, but the truth kept cutting through, and the judge laid the hammer down.
Judge Griffith in that wooden chair said, well, immunity denied, it's only fair. You chase that man for 9 long miles, you ain't credible in my eyes. Denied his plea, said not this time, based on the statements, based on law. Scott should be here today, no question at all. This is my rule, and this is how it stands. Immunity denied, boy. You got blood on your hands.
Stand your ground, law, his guidelines. Every witness testified, but the story kept on changing when the well down tried to explain his why.
He pursued Scott like a shadow down Highway 9 in a high-speed chase. You can't call this fear when you are the pursuer in this case.
Try to twist that righteous rule with lies up to his neck, but the gavel hit the table and snapped that judge's power back in check.
Judge Griffith in that wooden chair said, well, immunity denied, it's only fair. You chase that man for 9 long miles. This ain't mercy, this is terror. Denied that plea, said not this town. Time to bring the good old boy system down. Yeah, Highway 9 gonna hear this sound. Time to bring the good old boy system down. For every back row whisper, for every lie they tried to hide, for every mama dressed in black standing got blood on your hands. God will execute just and final judgment upon the wicked, rendering to each according to their deeds.
What y'all think about that? Miranda says it needs to go viral. Well, I appreciate that, Miranda. I'm not really a songwriter much, but sometimes you just got to spill your words out into a song. So thank you, Matthew. I appreciate that. I just felt like it was something that I needed to say. And so I said it in this song, and that's exactly what happened. Immunity was denied for Weldon. Now, it's not been decided yet about Bradley Kenneth Williams. And we're going to hear about that when we review some of the things. But I do want you to hear some of the last day testimony. And I want to hear from you in the comments to let me know what you think about this last day of testimony, because we're going to hear from Bradley too, and I think it's going to be very interesting. So if you have comments or you need me to stop, if I see you guys saying something, I will pause. This is a replay. We're going to be replaying this from WPDE News Channel 15, and I want to make sure that we give them credit. I appreciate WPDE streaming this live from the courtroom. And I'm going to be replaying some of the clips from their live footage from there. So big shout out to WPDE ABC 15 local news station for being there in the courtroom. So we're going to jump on over here. And, you know, I may share my thoughts and opinions. So I don't normally do that. But in this case, you know, I might have things that I need to get out. So maybe I don't get a migraine, you know, like, I've come to a verdict. You're a loser, you know, disclaimer. I'm not for the weak. Sometimes I'm just going to say what I need to say and just get it out there. So let me share my screen. We're going to get over here and we're going to get started on this day 4. So we can jump right into it. All right, let me see what we're working with over here on StreamYard so I can determine what's going to be the best way to play this. All right. All right, again, this is WPDE ABC News 15. This is day 4, Friday, February the 20th. Live footage from the Horry County Courtroom, 3B in Conway, South Carolina. All credit to WPDE News for this footage. Let me know you guys can hear this in the comments.
Yes, it is.
Sit back here, speaking to the microphone.
Okay. My name is Christopher James Watkins, W-A-T-K-I-N-S.
Thank you, Mr. Watkins. What is your current occupation?
I'm a licensed private investigator, licensed through SLED, and I am a digital forensic analyst.
What is a digital forensic analyst?
So I have a company that I own and operate called Certified Computer Forensics. Its focus is in digital forensic science, which entails the collection, securing, preservation, analysis, investigation of digital information. So electronically stored information on phones, computers, what have you. And that could be in the scope of criminal-related cases, civil-related cases, family law. If it's digital, that's in my wheelhouse.
Okay. How long have you had that business?
That business specifically 2019, but I've been operating in this capacity for 16 years.
16 years. And do you hold any certifications in this field?
Yes, I do. I've been certified or recognized by IASIS, which is the International Association of Computer Investigative Specialists, as a certified forensic computer examiner and a certified mobile device examiner.
And have you ever been qualified as an expert before in this field in the court of law in this state?
Yes, I have. I've been qualified 35 times in the field of digital forensic science in this state family court, court common pleas, general sessions, and the United States federal court and the Columbia District.
Thank you. Your Honor, I'd offer Mr. Watkins as an expert in the area of computer forensics.
Didn't you say digital forensic science?
Digital
Yes, sir.
forensic science. We'll call it that.
Okay. Any Ford Dyer, please, sir. Yes. All right. I understand what that means. So you're so qualified for the 36th time.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Watkins, how did you come to be involved in this matter and what were you asked to do?
I was contracted by your office, and the request, the scope of work, was to analyze digital evidence that was derived from the iPhones or cell phones collected in this case. More specifically, an iPhone that belonged to Mr. Scott Spivey that was collected and processed by SLED, and to review the underlying work results, the export data thereof. You asked me to look at the location data specifically, and that was part of my, that was the main focus of my analysis.
And Mr. Watkins, were you provided with a set of data from which to work off of in this case?
Yes, I was.
And what was that?
That was reports generated by SLED, and that, again, that those reports were derived from the devices that were collected. So main focus being Mr. Spivey's iPhone. There was a report, which was my specific focus, which included location data that was derived from this iPhone. More specifically, it originated from a database file on that iPhone, the cache.sqlite database file. This is a common database file found on Apple devices that's responsible for collecting and storing location information gathered by the phone's internal sensors.
Okay. I'm going to show you what's been marked as Defendant's Exhibit 64 up here. It's hard to print these spreadsheets, so I'm going to show it here. Does this look familiar to you?
Yes, sir. That would be the data that I'm referring to.
Okay. And this is the data that you used, you said was recovered by the State Law Enforcement Division off of Mr. Spivey's cell phone.
That is my understanding. Yes, sir.
Okay. And did the data, this data that you received, did it contain GPS data, speed data? What all did it include?
Yes. So the cache.sqlite database file contains the timestamps for each record where location data is collected for, the latitude and longitude coordinates, the accuracy rating measured in meters, and that's a radius, the speed value, which is measured in meters per second, the direction, which is measured in degrees relative to north, and I believe that's all. There's more data there as well. There's also altitude, but as far as conducting my analysis, those that I named specifically were those that were relevant in my analysis.
So these records contain location, they contain direction, and they contain speed.
Yes.
Okay. And can you explain a little bit to the court exactly what GPS positional data is and how a cell phone records and stores it?
Sure. So specific to iPhone, since that's what we're talking about in this case, the iPhone has within it several sensors that are responsible for collecting this type of data. So you've got a GPS antenna and a Wi-Fi antenna. Both of those will inherently influence location, obviously GPS. There's a cellular modem.
This is why digital forensics is so important. You don't realize it, but your phone will tell on you if you're getting into some fuck shit. Okay? I'm just going to put it like that. Sorry to cuss if it offends you, but it is what it is. Okay? Let's be honest. This is why we really looked into Tyler Doyle's records, because there was a phone call made from his phone 2 weeks after he went missing. How is that possible? Tyler's phone was never found. It's very important to know how many outgoing calls, how many incoming calls. This is why the digital forensic data on Christian Holden's phone was important. It will tell a story, and either it will match the person who's telling the story verbally to someone else, or you're going to catch them in a lie.
That communicates with the cell towers that can influence location. There's also a barometer, which is responsible for estimating the altitude. And there's also the magnometer, which is responsible for getting us the degree. So it's like a compass.
Okay. And in addition to analyzing this data, were you asked to prepare a visual representation of the data?
Yes.
Map, if you will?
Yes.
Okay. And in that,
Did he say there was a barometer measurement on the iPhone? That is pretty interesting. I had no idea that an iPhone could. Wow, that's pretty incredible.
analysis, were you asked to analyze the data for certain patterns of driving behavior?
Yes, I was.
Okay. Specifically, were you asked to analyze the data to determine if there were any brake checking like events within it?
Yes, that was the scope of the assignment, was to observe this data and look for any patterns within the behavior or within the data to see whether it was consistent with the behavior that would be recognized as a brake check style maneuver. The hallmarks of a brake check style maneuver we would see traveling at highway speeds, normal highway speeds, consistent. And then it could be followed by a increase in speed, or it could just stay steady. Then it would follow by an abrupt deceleration, followed by a recovery. So we're looking, that was my goal, is to look for those types of data patterns and assess whether those were consistent.
So assessing the brake checking, that's what he's assessing.
With that style scenario.
Okay. And did you prepare a report to that effect?
Yes.
Okay. When you take a look at the TV screen, this is what we're going to mark as Defendant's Exhibit 33. Do you recognize this?
Yes.
Is this the report you prepared?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And were you able to identify in analyzing the data any brake checking events within it?
From my examination of the data, I observed 3 events of interest where there was a abrupt deceleration event recorded. This report indicates the underlying information supporting that interpretation. Do you want to go through each event?
Yes, we'll go through each event now. But first, I want to ask you just to be clear, what is distinguishable about a brake checking event? Say from a driver slowing for traffic or coming up to a stoplight that's red.
So there could be variability with that because, mind you, when we're looking at deceleration patterns and data like this, there's nothing in this data that will reveal to me driver's intent. And by its nature, a brake check maneuver has an element of intent behind it. So we're looking for the hallmarks of what the data would show. What is the data going to show that is consistent with that type of activity? We expect to see a deceleration event after steady steady travel, deceleration event followed by recovery. Now, what I did in my data set, or in this data set, I made a working copy of the data and I analyzed not just every deceleration event. I had to have a benchmark by which to make an objective assessment of this data. So what I did is I set the threshold to a 4 meters per second square deceleration. And what that did is that isolated these three events. I looked at the cluster of records within these three events, and I recorded.
Let me ask y'all a question. I just went to look at the live on my phone, and I see that my banner is actually blocking the captions. Would you guys prefer me to take my banner down so you guys can read the captions? Because I can certainly do that. I didn't realize that until I just went over to my phone and saw that you guys cannot see the captions. So there may be people watching that actually need to read that. So I apologize in advance for that.
The maximum speed of travel, the minimum speed of travel, calculated the difference between those two speeds, the rate in which the speed declined, and then the recovery event afterwards. So when the speed recovers back to normal highway speed. That analysis by itself, showing these events would be consistent with that type of activity.
Okay. All right, I want to turn to your report now, and you've got listed up here as event 1. First off, what are the times associated with this event?
Okay, so event 1, we're looking at between 5:46:35 p.m. and 5:46:41 p.m. That is where we see the abrupt speed decrease from 72.73 miles per hour to 25.43 miles per hour. So what we're seeing there is,
go ahead.
This is over a period of about 6 seconds with a total reduction of speed of 47.3 miles per hour.
Damn. A reduction of 47.3 miles per hour. Now, if y'all remember in Weldon's testimony that we reviewed on Thursday, he said, oh, I was going the speed limit. I wasn't speeding. Well, the judge asked him, said, well, how is it that you kept up with him if he was speeding and going in and out of traffic? How was it that you were able to keep him in your sight and keep up with him? But Weldon said he wasn't speeding. Okay. Hey, Shauna. Good to see you. Hey, K-Swan. Hey, Hannah UK. Thank you for being a member, darling, for 4 months. I appreciate y'all joining.
So we've got an event here where Mr. Spivey is going 72 miles an hour, and within 6 seconds, he brings his car back to 25 miles. Brings his car.
I would say that would, wow.
Car down to 25 miles an hour.
Yes.
And remember, this is all picked up on the digital forensic data of his iPhone. That's incredible.
Okay, and then I want to ask you about the recovery or reacceleration speeds and why that's important to your analysis or not.
Yes, it's relevant because when we're looking at a deceleration event, if it comes to a stop after this activity, we can't correlate that to a possible brake check maneuver. So we need to see what the speed is after that event. And so if it recovers back to normal traffic speed, we can rule this as a candidate. And so following this event of the speed decrease at 3:46:41 p.m., it reaches a recovery speed of approximately 50.29 miles per hour by 5:46:49 p.m.
Okay. All right, I want to go into event 2. And I'm going to ask you to real quick look at these graphs that you put up here. Will you just briefly explain what each of these graphs are and how they help you?
Yeah, so this is just showing the rate of speed over time. So we're just seeing the timestamp showing the bottom of the x-axis there, showing the rate of speed where it began at the 72.73 miles per hour, going down to that 25 mile per hour and then increasing back up. This graph here, or this chart here, represents the deceleration magnitude. So measuring the magnitude of the rate of change of speed. We're showing that it reached a magnitude of 5.25.
Okay, and why is that important?
Well, that's important because we want to know what the rate of speed change is. We want to know how quickly this vehicle is decelerating. Now, the deceleration magnitude is what I use as my benchmark, my reference point to isolate these records within the data set. See, if I were to go by just any deceleration event, then I'm getting into potential just routine traffic modulation. We want to see records where we're seeing prominent deceleration events. And so that's why I use the 4 meters per second square as a threshold.
Okay. And this one here, briefly.
It's kind of the same thing, just in reverse. So when we're measuring accuracy is a positive number, deceleration is a negative. The magnitude is just the absolute value. So it is a deceleration of minus 5.29, I believe it said. The magnitude of that, it would just be the 5.29. So it's just representing the same thing, just showing the deceleration and acceleration over time.
Okay. All right, let's move on to event 2. What's the time sequence here that we're talking about?
Is it, I understand it's deceleration.
Okay.
Is there a reason? It's not stipulated that there was deceleration events.
That's correct, Judge.
I mean, so why are we going into so deeply? I mean, there's no.
I'll streamline it. How about that?
All right, because I mean,
work for you. All right.
Judge Griffin, why are we going so deeply? I actually really like him.
Trucks on the highway and a lot of inconsistent driving. I follow that all the way through.
I understand, Judge. I'll breeze
And
right
it wasn't a
through.
wreck to analyze impact or something, so I'm kind of confused.
I promise I'll bring it around to a point and I will streamline this questioning, Judge.
Okay.
Well, get to it.
Keeping what the judge just said in mind, the event 2, what's the speed of that deceleration event?
Well, we're seeing a speed reduction of 80 miles per hour to about 48 miles per hour
Okay.
over a 5-second period.
All right. And the third event?
Third event, we're seeing a speed reduction from 75.8 miles per hour to 45.9 miles per hour over a period of 3 seconds.
Okay. And those are the 3 events that you were looking at, right?
Yes.
Okay. And in each of the events that we just talked about, the vehicle's traveling well above the speed limit, brake suddenly, and then reaccelerate.
Yes.
Okay. And as part of your report, were you asked to prepare a visual representation of the data in these events in this case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to show you this and ask you if this is your handiwork here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, and with the court's permission, I'd like to walk through this, Judge, just to give you a visual representation of not only these events, but the speeds of Mr. Spivey at each given point down this highway as we pass certain places on the road that you have heard about in witness testimony and otherwise.
Not every point.
It'll be very quick, Judge.
Okay. There were a lot of points in that map I was looking at yesterday.
There are, yes, sir, and this will be accelerated. We're not going to go by this 1 second at a time here.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I really like him. And because he's like, listen, let's snap, snap, snap. Like we're getting done with this. You know? I mean, he's making no bones about it. Like, quit trying to play games and beat around the bush. Like, let's get to the facts. And I'm proud to say that he's a judge here in this county. Way to go, Judge Griffin. Yes.
All right, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
What's the difference in the demonstration, yellow, green, shrimp color, whatever that orange color is. What does that mean? What's that telling me?
Yes, sir. So I color coded it based on the speed values. So 0 to 5 is blue, 5 to 25 is green. The legend's over here on the bottom left, 25 to 45 yellow,
Okay, I see.
45. Yes, sir.
Okay.
And Your Honor, if you notice, Mr. Watkins has included the speed limits in each of these given areas for you to see.
You cars.
We already know they broke the speed limit. There was speeds of 113 miles an hour. And remember, y'all, this started 5 miles from where I live.
The speed over that big bridge across the intercoastal roadway is 40.
40, yes, sir.
It used to
Well,
be.
it is 45 over the bridge, and as you're coming down close to McLeod Seacoast Hospital here.
Okay, you see this intersection right here, Sea Mountain Highway? I live down off of Sea Mountain Highway right down here. This is Highway 9 that they're talking about. Highway 9 actually crosses over in my backyard because Highway 9 goes right over the waterway into North Myrtle Beach and merges into Highway 17. If you're familiar with the Myrtle Beach area. Sea Mountain Highway, that kind of used to be the old way that you go across the swing bridge. And that's how you get down to my house. So this little intersection right here, when you're going this way, that's where we're going out to Highway 57 where all of this happened. Yeah, McLeod Hospital right here. And yeah, and listen, these are speed checkpoints. When tourists come into town, boy, they get busted all the time because they fluctuate that speed limit all over the place. So when I tell you that this happened, like right close to my house, Scott Spivey was eating at Boardwalk Billy's when he left to go home. So yes, he left Boardwalk Billy's and came right over that overpass behind my house and came up Highway 9. Boardwalk Billy's is about less than 2 miles on the waterway from my house. My house is on the waterway and Boardwalk Billy's is on the waterway as well. So I could walk to Boardwalk Billy's from my house.
It drops down to 40.
Okay. It used to not be.
Yeah, and some of the speeds further up Highway 9 used to be 45, and then as development is going, they brought it down to 45.
No question. A lot of development has gone up in that area.
All right, here, Mr. Watkins, is this the first event we just discussed with the judge?
Yes, sir. Event number 1 is represented here on this map. Yes.
And that's a deceleration of almost 73 miles an hour back down to 25 miles an hour.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that is, obviously, we're seeing here well before Bell and Bell and Tractor Supply Company, correct?
Yes, sir.
That's a Billy Kid's restaurant.
It is.
See? I do know the area.
Favorite of my grandparent.
Yeah.
No. Yes, Billy the Kids is right there. I don't know. We don't eat there. And I'm local. I mean, I don't know. Try it if you want to. But listen, I'm not taking anything away from the fact that Scott Spivey did have alcoholic beverages. He probably should have not been driving. I cannot disagree with that.
All right, Mr. Watkins, I sent you some case materials from this case to incorporate into your information. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What does this indicate to you?
Where we're at now is a stop.
Okay. Probably stopped at the light here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. At this point here, what do you see in the speed data?
We're over 80.
And then we've got this point marked here. What does that say?
It says Spivey forces couple off road.
And do we see a slight deceleration here
Yes, we do.
and then a quick reacceleration?
Back to 85, 80, yeah, high 80s, yes, sir.
Okay. And through this stretch over the river, how fast are we getting?
Here we get over 90.
As we come into this turn, you put a marker up here, initial encounter, Boyd, Williams, and Spivey.
That's correct, yep.
Okay, and you're basing that off of
Witness statements.
witness statements.
That's
okay?
right.
So Mr. Spivey is well above 90 miles an hour. He's already had one brake checking event on the road, and that's before we even get to where witness testimony indicates that Mr. Williams and Mr. Boyd and Mr. Spivey got entangled with one another.
You testify?
Yes, sir.
I probably should have asked that a different way, Judge.
Yeah.
Well, I'll keep moving along. And this is your second event that we talked about, right?
Yes, sir.
And we go from what speed to what speed again?
Oh, about 80 miles per hour to 48
Okay.
over a 5-second period.
Is that Pine Needle, just so we can,
No, farther up.
okay.
We're getting ready to get there. And this is your third event that we discussed?
Yes, sir.
And tell me the speeds just one more time.
75.8 to 45.9 reduction in 3 seconds.
Got it. And there's some photographs that are popping up here. How are you able to place the location of those photographs on this map?
In respect to the photos like these that are taken of the vehicle, these were from Mr. Williams' iPhone, and those indicated the latitude and longitude that's embedded in the metadata. So if it had latitude and longitude data, it was mapped.
Okay.
All right, question for you. What you're saying is that Williams' phone had data, but not the speed location data, it had other data that you could bring in and compare.
Yes, sir. Just not the cache.SB-Lite, the data from that we would really love to have. We don't have that.
But it had other data stored from its
Yes, sir.
normal operating.
Yes, sir, it did.
I think, Judge, I can ask a question. When you take a photograph on your phone, like Mr. Williams has here, does your phone save geolocation information about where that photograph is taken?
It can if that function is turned on, yes.
And was that function turned on here in order for you to get that location data?
Indeed, it was. Yes.
Okay. And here we see another photograph that was taken
Yes.
and another.
Yes, sir.
You placed this marker here. Can you read that for me?
Horry County Fire Rescue Station 13.
Sorry, y'all. I had to take the puppy out real quick. Yes, puppy. Yes. Harley says hello, everybody. I am really shocked there was not any police out on Highway 9 in September, because normally it is very saturated with Horry County Police, Horry County Sheriff's Department, because this is county. This is not in the city, so North Myrtle Beach Police Department would not be out there. It would be Horry County Police or Horry County Sheriff's Office that would be patrolling, or Highway Patrol. I I'm just really shocked that no one had called the law long before Weldon actually interacted with him. That's really shocking to me. Let's continue.
And those red dots indicate what?
We're slowing down to the 65 to 85 range, and then the orange represents the slowing down into the 45, 65 range. We're seeing it slow down a little bit here into the low 60s.
And you've got a marker up there that says average speed measurement zone. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so where that began, at the bottom there, where Corey Road is, measuring from that, or Coney Road, I'm sorry, measuring from that marker all the way up to Camp Swamp Road, this stretch is measuring the average speed of the vehicle. It's a running average.
Okay, you see here, Willard's Firework Factory. They were just showing the footage of that area. That is Alex that comes into the chat. That is her family's business. And I just want to give Alex a shout out because I'm so glad that her family actually has cameras facing the road so that this could be submitted as part of the evidence. So, and I'd appreciate Alex like coming over to the channel and being a member. Thank you, Alex. So let's continue. Just wanted to remind you guys, in case you see Alex in the chat, you'll know that Willard's Firework Factory, that's where we get our fireworks.
So it's calculating after every point.
So in the last 1.83 miles of this trip, Scott Spivey's average speed was what?
62.89,
And the speed limit there is what?
60.
All right, and just my last point here, Mr. Watkins, I'm going to zoom in on this here. Tell me about this, what this indicates to you, what it doesn't indicate to you, what it might mean, what it might not mean. Just what is this
Well,
deviation?
If you wouldn't mind, just zoom out a little bit
Yep,
and
sorry.
play it so the rest of the markers show up. All right, right there is good. So to your question, what we're seeing here is the center point of that location, the latitude and longitude, is consistent with that vehicle being in the left lane, and we see a shift to the right lane here just before the turn. The degree of certainty as far as the measurement, whether or not it's in the left or right lane, is dependent on the accuracy rating for each one of these records.
Okay. But these records here indicate, as you can see, an abrupt shift from the left lane across the right and onto Camp Swamp Road, correct?
According to the center point of those locations, it is consistent with that behavior, yes.
Okay. All right, Judge, no further questions at this time.
Ron, would you mind,
Yeah.
since you were demonstrating, would you mind scrolling back to the, did you have any questions for Moss? No, okay. Would you mind scrolling back to the old couple ran off the road?
Yeah. All right. And you tell me when to start.
Well, where's,
Up past these two markers here. Up past Colonial, this would be the intersection.
right, I see that point though, so you're scrolling through and we're seeing the speeds right there in the bottom right-hand corner, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's okay. So 85, 84, 83, 84. So that 1 mile an hour, that's good. One mile an hour change, that was the slowdown you saw?
If you would, close that call out box there, the one that's in the center of the page, so we can better see the records. See it in the center where it shows it's almost like it's right above the record. It's white. To the
So
way
I
out,
don't know where, here.
in the very center.
Mr. Watkins, grab that wood stick right in
Yes,
front of you there. Point to what you want me to do.
You click that X right there.
Yeah.
All right, and then if you would, zoom in a little bit. Check this box right here. There you go. Now you can see the speeds.
Yeah, but I wasn't incorrect in what I said, right?
Oh, let's see if you, please zoom out.
It's okay. It's not.
So we have if you see further back, it's around 87, slows down to about 83, then goes back up to 85. So
Yeah, but where you place the point, there's a 1 mile an hour change, correct?
roughly, yes.
Okay. Now, you were supplied some materials in addition to what SLED downloaded from Mr. Spivey's phone, correct?
Yes.
All right. And did they give you Mr. Boyd's deposition?
No, sir.
Do you know how many times they have talked to a witness and the witness? We saw this on Thursday as well. They had this pharmacology guy. I'm not even going to get started about him from East Carolina. He wasn't given any backstory, any information about what transpired in this case, but he was asked to make a determination and did make the determination in his eyes that Scott Spivey, that this happened to Scott because of anabolic steroids and alcohol, that he caused this to happen, without even knowing that Weldon chased him for 9 miles at a high rate of speed and shot as many times as he did. Like, this is inconsistent and poor work on the part of the defense, not giving the people who are being called as witnesses the complete story. You know why they didn't? Because it would ruin their testimony, in my opinion. God, this makes me so irritated.
Yeah.
Gets in front of you the first time and break rejection. Did you ever get in front of him again after that?
To the best of my memory, once he finally got around us and in front of us, we never got back in front of him.
There's nothing in your analysis of this data that disputes that once Mr. Spivey got in front of Mr. Boyd was never in front of Mr. Spivey, correct?
Yeah, I don't have enough data to say that happened.
You don't have any data that would refute what Mr. Boyd says is that once Spivey got in front of him, he stayed in front of him, right?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
That's right. And brake check or brake check event, that presupposes two vehicles in close proximity and then one aggressively stopping for whatever reason because the other one's immediately behind, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. There's nothing in this data that would indicate that Mr. Boyd couldn't have stopped, is there?
Couldn't have stopped like
He could have stopped his pursuit.
Yeah, you're right. I don't have any data from Mr. Boyd's phone.
I don't have any data from Mr. Boyd's phone. Nothing that indicates that he couldn't have just stopped the pursuit at any time.
Now, pull up his testimony from yesterday. Yesterday, Mr. Boyd testified. Did you watch any of that?
I did, yes, sir.
Okay. Did you see when he testified about sending the text? We marked it as Plaintiff's Exhibit 19 at 5:49, and then almost immediately thereafter, he encountered Mr. Spivey. That's the text, 5:49.
I'm driving along and I'm just finishing up the text message and I sent that. As soon as I sent it, sometime immediately after, I hear my friend Bradley, and excuse my language, Judge, yell, "What the fuck?" I looked up first because I thought, oh crap, I'm gonna hit something.
Immediately after sending that text, under his sworn testimony in front of this court, he said he encountered Mr. Spivey. And you agree that that is basically in this Bell and Bell intersection at 5:49, right?
Could be. I might have to look the map again, just refresh. It's hard to remember all those numbers, you know.
You're not telling me. I'm going to show you, and this is the most sophisticated exhibit you're going to see, Judge. This is me. But so the point of this, we're going to mark it as 21. 21. Do you just generally agree this is Pine Needle, right? We can.
Take your time, it's his drawing.
I apologize, I don't know the area too well, so I'd have to take your word for it. I don't know if that's fine.
Well, yeah, so what we did is what you testified is that Mr. Williams' photo had GPS data, correct? Located.
Yes, sir. That's
All right. And so we know the specific point in the world. We can place that point on the map, and what you did.
Hey, Sammy, it's good to see you. Thank you for joining us. And Camshaft, it's good to see you. I appreciate you being here. Hey, Kara, if I missed anybody, I hope everybody's doing well.
It is you located that photo at Pine Needle.
Okay. Yes, sir.
And this is all we did here. This is super sophisticated. We took Pine Needle. How far is it from Pine Needle to Camp Swamp? And you don't disagree it's 4.6 miles.
No, sir. I don't disagree with that.
And you also don't disagree that, and this is Marlowe Circle up here,
Hey, Fuzzy Puff. Good to see you. Happy Saturday, everyone.
that it's a good bit further up the road before we hear, did you hear the 911 call?
I don't know if I heard the whole thing, but I may have heard the whole thing. I'm not sure.
And relating it to Marlowe Circle, correct?
I do recall hearing that part, yes.
And there's nothing in this data that disputes that, is there?
That disputes what specifically?
That he didn't, that they had this whatever event at Pine Needle, that they go on up some more miles before he calls 911.
Yeah, not that I'm aware of.
This is, I'm trying to save us time. You're such a good witness. I'm gonna use you. Do you generally agree? This one is color coded so that what we did was everything above the speed limit, but less than 24 miles an hour. So there's essentially two zones. There may be a place in here where it slows down to less than 45, but for the most part, you agree there's a 60, there's a 45, and then there's a 60.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so do you generally agree that this board fairly and accurately depicts the areas where Scott Spivey's vehicle is going over the speed limit, but less than 24 miles an hour over, red yellow, and red? I got the data points, and I'm gonna get you to identify those next. But just generally agree with me that fairly and accurately depicts, and then green is speed limit or less.
So I understand your question. You're asking whether his speed was above 25 for the speed zone? Is that?
Well, so the way you did it, as I understood in your graph, is you just did speed without regard to speed limit. You were just talking about speeds.
But he had he had a speed limit notice on that bottom right-hand box
Yes, sir.
when he's showing the average speeds too.
Okay.
So he should vote.
Okay, so what I did is I just broke it out into with regard to the speed limit, are you going above, way above, or below? And do you just generally agree? And so what I did, we took the points, we imported them into Google Maps, and that's essentially what you did, right?
Essentially.
Okay. And this is, again, not super sophisticated like Mr. O'Brien just did, but this is just the points.
Okay.
And we just plotted them on there, and
So you're asking if I quantified how much over the speed limit he was traveling and map that out?
all I really want you to do is just agree with me that these are the points, and I'm going to mark that and give it to the judge, and I'm going to sit down.
Well, you can look at it.
Let me ask that for a question. Didn't your map, the first question I asked you was what do those colors mean?
Yes, sir.
Essentially, it's the same data. You colored yours one way, he's colored his similarly, but relative to the speed limit, whereas yours are.
Yes, sir. I just want to make sure if I'm going to agree to something, I properly understand it. So you've color coded this based on how much over the speed limit the vehicle has traveled? Is that?
Correct.
That's correct?
Okay. Or not. So green is speed limit or less. Yellow is above the speed limit, but less than 24 miles an hour above. And then red is 25 and above.
Okay. Based on that explanation and having understanding of the data that I've mapped, I can generally agree with the caveat that I have not reviewed every point, so I'm kind of taking your word for it.
Well, I'm kind of taking Sled's word for it, but so just so that the judge has, because it's hard, like when you had O'Brien zoom out so we could see the speeds, it's hard to get that map oriented so you can see all the speeds, right? You got to manipulate it.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, and I know the judge could work that perfectly, but all we've done is we've done screenshots of all of that data that he just scrolled through. And so do you agree that that fairly and accurately depicts it? You're welcome to look through. It's not a trick.
I understand. I haven't reviewed your work product, so just trusting that that's what you've done and it's all correct, then I would probably agree with it.
Okay. Well, I'm going to put it in.
It's 21.
Yes, sir.
22, sorry.
I mean, understand y'all are getting data from the same source.
That's right.
Copies iPhone comparing to the same highway, you ought to be fairly consistent.
This will
Yes,
just
sir.
allow you to, if you were so inclined to scroll through it and see the points.
It's not somebody else's phone, same phone. You're looking at, he's looking.
Yes, sir. I'm just want to be careful. I'm going to agree to something that I haven't had time to really meticulously look at.
But you analyze the phone, it set the data off the phone to get your speeds. He got the data from SLED if they analyze it. Am I right?
I think
It's the same data.
Oh, it's the same data. Yes, Your Honor.
Just like you said at the beginning, we're just looking at it two different ways.
Okay.
All right. So, and you had a pretty big caveat in your report.
Yes.
That your interpretation of the data, you cannot say, other than to speculate, that any change in speed was due to brake check.
Yes, sir. You're right, because I cannot prove intent with this data.
That's right.
Intent would have to be qualified through other corroborating evidence, such as witness statements, video, pictures, something like that.
But what we can say is that we see extended lengths, distances, where Mr. Spivey is going at high rates of speed, greatly in excess of the speed limit. And then we see photographic video evidence that documents that Mr. Boyd is in close proximity to his vehicle after those extended distances, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir. That's all I have.
Anything else?
Just one follow-up question, Your Honor. Mr. Watkins, none of the data you provided would be able to tell you anything about what the actual speed of Mr. Boyd's vehicle was at any given point on this trip. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, there's no data showing exactly how fast he was going or not going.
That's correct.
All right. No further questions, Judge.
Anything with Mark?
There was another white truck in front of a couple of locations. You recall that, not Mr. Boyd's white truck, but another white truck. Did you make any analysis about that white truck?
I didn't hear the tail end of that. I'm sorry.
Did you make any analysis about this other white truck?
No, sir, I did not.
And to be fair, could you, without data in that truck?
Not without additional data, no, sir.
Very good, thank you.
How come that was detection for temperature?
You said temperature?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know that. All right, you sit down. Absolutely. I want to know if iPhone had a temperature gauge in it somehow. He said I'll check. So,
Yeah, I'll have to check that one. I've never had that come up.
see, that's me hijacking the expert. All right, you can step down.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you for coming.
That was pretty interesting testimony from Mr. Watkins, and I did drop that in the chat so you guys would know that he is a licensed private investigator and a digital forensic scientist. He's been doing this for more than 16 years, and he was actually contracted by the defense specifically for Kenneth Bradley Williams, to analyze digital evidence from the scene on those speeds. So I just wanted to make sure I clarified that. How far am I from Somerville, Sammy? Probably about 3 hours. I have a couple friends that live in Somerville, and we have some friends that live in Mount Pleasant, Isle of Palms, Edisto Beach, Charleston, in that area. So Hanahan, different areas around there. So not too far. It's a pretty decent drive. We just take 17 all the way. Let's see where we are at now. Who we got up next? I believe.
And so there was another white truck in the photo.
Let's see.
Maybe call Mr. Timothy Davis.
So that's the pleasure of the Bible raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear from the testimony that you have in this case that you truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Please step right up there and have a seat. Speak to the microphone. State your name for the record.
My name is Timothy Davis.
Your Honor, I make it speed this up. Mr. Davis was deposed last week, and I intend to tender him as a licensed surveyor, and to offer opinions based on his observations from this same GPS data.
Situated survey?
He's a surveyor. He goes straight into talking about it. I don't care.
There you go.
All right, you're a surveyor. Congratulations.
Mr. Davis, you've seen.
Did you guys hear that? I'm sorry. What? Done. I'm done. I have to take that back for just a minute. What? The judge is, he is too much right now. I can't. What? There you go. You're a surveyor. Congratulations. I feel like we need to see this one more time.
And to offer opinions based.
Oh, I can't even get it on the right spot. Come on, man.
Yes, ma'am.
Please step right up there and have a seat. Speak to the microphone. State your name for the record.
My name is Timothy Davis.
Your Honor, I make it speed this up. Mr. Davis was deposed last week, and I intend to tender him as a licensed surveyor, and to offer opinions based on his observations from this same GPS data.
Situated survey?
He's a surveyor. He goes straight into talking about it. I don't care.
There you go.
He said, I don't care. The judge said, I don't care, y'all. Somebody go buy this man a coffee and treat him to dinner. I can't with him. I'm going to have to send him a card and tell him how much I just think he is the best.
You're a surveyor. Congratulations.
Judge Griffin. Judge Griffin. Sir. What? Let me get my Dr. Pepper over here. I gotta get my tea. Let me sip my tea on that. He said, breaking news. I don't care. I cannot with this. Oh my Lord. I'm your Huckleberry. That's for daggone sure. This ought to be interesting. Judge Griffin is over it.
Mr. Davis, you've seen Mr. Watkins' data, haven't you?
Yes.
Right. In fact, you were provided those data points.
Yes,
Did you map them?
I did.
Are these your documents?
They are.
Let me show them. You just briefly say what they are. I don't want to go into a lot of detail. I just want you to tell us what they are so we can.
Briefly, I basically drew line by line by line of every one of those points that Mr. Watkins also was provided.
And did you also, you heard him talk about the events?
Yes,
Did you plat those events in your drawings?
I did.
Okay. And is that what's before you?
Yes,
Okay, and you've labeled them as CW event, is that right?
yes. Everyone that corresponds with the report that I was provided from him that shows it says Christopher Watkins event A, B, C, D, E, F.
Could you tell the judge what this plat is?
That right there is line by line of Scott Spivey's vehicle as it's coming around, it gets in the the fast lane. And as it gets right before Camp Swamp, it kind of veers over into the right lane and then takes a right onto Camp Swamp Road for about 200 feet.
And this came from that same sled day, is that right?
Yes, sir.
No, we just like to mark them all as one exhibit, admit them so they can be available to you if you want to see them. All right. Let me ask you also.
So, it's going to be 67.
67.
Is it not part of what you already have?
Not 6'7". Not 6'7". Y'all, I'm on fire today. I'm sorry.
That's easy.
I don't think I've done 67.
All right, those are collectively 67, we'll flip them together, and what you have your hands not.
Well, right.
Okay.
Would you tell me what these documents are, how they're organized, and how they can be useful to the court? You may hold it if you'd like. You told them to show the judge what they are.
So I went over those same lines by line that I drew, and I put in tick marks every mile of the data that I was provided. And then these are just basically blow ups from different points from the 4 mile mark to the 7 mile mark.
This place from Bill to Camp Swamp.
This is actually from, I think it's Boardwalk Billy's to Camp Swamp.
Okay. Did you notice any areas where the demonstrated driving based on the data appeared to be odd, other than the interchange at Camp Swamp Road we talked about?
There's a couple right there at Stevens Crossroads. You see some zigzags, like leaving the red light and possibly going into the oncoming traffic or crossing into that turn lane.
It'd be fair to say you can't say with precision, surveyor precision, where a vehicle was in any lane of traffic because there's a margin of error. Is that right?
There's a margin of error for every point. There's a radius of error, and you almost have to double that.
Okay, but you can see a general shape of driving within that margin of error. Is that correct?
Correct.
I want to turn now to a little bit different topic.
We'll mark these 68 collective.
Please.
All right. Ms. Allen.
I'll need a 69. Thank you.
We did 67, didn't we?
Yes.
No, I'm gonna need a 69, is what I'm saying.
Coming up.
Do you recall being asked about speed calculations?
Yes, sir.
Let me show you what I asked her for, to mark 69, and if you can generally, Your Honor, a copy for you, and I provided a copy to opposing counsel already. Okay, let me ask you to recognize what this is.
What's that?
Could you tell the court what this is?
This is different calculations from different points in the routes where we were either able or unable to calculate the speed, and almost all of it came from Scott Spivey.
Because you had second by second data.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How would you go about trying to figure out what board speed was without that data?
You would have to figure out the pictures. Some, like, I guess Mr. Watkins has already iterated that you had metadata on certain pictures in the phone. The only times that I could use that is 5,780 feet of phone pictures, and basically that's right there at the Minuteman, or Highway 905 crossing Highway 9, and almost at right just after Long Bay Golf Course.
So I don't want to. So you've organized this generally into high and low and average speed where you had data. Is that right?
Correct.
And between various known points, the geographic points. Is that right?
Okay, let me just stop here to say I am really confused about how a surveyor is applicable to this scenario. And what are we going to learn from him? Because I'm not following. Anybody watching have any insight to how this is helpful to the defense? Because it just seems like y'all are pressing on the judge's last nerve.
Correct. And so did you analyze, I'm gonna walk through your paragraphs. Did you analyze the last 2 miles prior to Camp Swamp Road?
I did.
All right. Could you calculate the average speed in that last 2 miles for Mr. Spivey's truck?
I could.
What was it?
The highest speed is 93.97 miles per hour.
And what about the low and the average?
The low is 21.06 miles per hour to the end. That's the
Okay, how about the last 3 miles prior to Camp Swamp Road?
last 3 miles is high speed is 113.7 miles per hour. Average is 72.96. Lowest is 21.06.
Okay, I'm about done with this because I am not learning anything from this dude at all. I'm going to fast forward it off this surveyor because I just don't think that we are going to ascertain any information. I've already watched this. I watched it last night in full, and I'm just here to tell you that this is called desperation reaching. So I feel like we just need to go ahead and go to Bradley. Cam Shass said, nope, I stopped watching this part. And Hannah says, I thought a surveyor was someone who looked at building structure and checked it was safe. Hannah, stop making sense. Stop it. So are y'all good with me skipping forward on this guy? Because I'm just here to tell you, I did not ascertain any identifiable factual information that makes it relevant in the outcome of this immunity hearing. Okay, I'm making an executive decision. We have to proceed. Okay, so they took a break. And guess what, y'all? We don't have to sit through the breaks now. Yay us. We don't have to be here for 9 daggone hours. I know y'all are thrilled. I know, Camshaft. I know.
Yes, they did, and then we broke before they got him up here. All right, y'all call Mr. Williams. Come around and be sworn.
Yes, Hannah. Agreed.
Put your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give the court in this case will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
So I do.
State your name for the record.
Kenneth Williams,
Bradley,
Kenneth Bradley Williams.
Bradley Williams. All right, Bradley, let's talk to the judge about what happened on September 9th from your viewpoint. Getting into that, let's give the court a little bit of background on you. How old are you, Bradley?
36.
Are you married?
Yes, sir.
All right, now, I want to be sure you speak up so we can hear you. You talk softly, so, and kind of look at his honor. He's, I guess, the one that matters.
I'll do this.
You're married?
Yes, sir.
How many children?
One.
Boy, girl,
Who's a boy?
age?
15.
And where did you grow up, Bradley?
I grew up in Sherrill, South Carolina, and then moved from Florence to Darlington.
Florence to Darlington.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And how long have you lived where you currently live?
Hey, Adrian, it's good to see you. Thank you for joining us. We are reviewing day 4 of the Scott Spivey trial.
Many years.
All right. And what kind of work do you do?
I'm a heavy equipment mechanic.
And how long have you worked with the company you're with now?
Going on 14 years at the same location.
14 years. And that's there in Hartsville or Darlington?
It's in Florence.
Florence. Okay. And how did you get to know Weldon Boyd?
Me and Weldon went to school together back in 2008, I believe.
All right. And that's where you met him, and you've known him since that time.
Yes, sir.
And you would characterize him as a friend of yours.
Yes, sir.
All right. And did you, by any chance, know Scott Spivey for the record?
No, sir.
All right. Did you know anybody that knew Scott Spivey?
No, sir.
Any reason for there to be any antagonism between you and Scott Spivey on September the 9th of 23?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. So what were you doing in Horry County on that day?
I came down to help Weldon prepare for a friends and family event that he was having the following day.
All right. And when did you come down?
Sir?
When did you come down?
Saturday midday morning, somewhere in that area.
All right.
Earlier that day.
Early. And where did you meet Weldon?
I met him at his farm.
And did you and he travel to Tractor Supply together?
Yes, sir. We ran several errands that day.
Several areas.
Errands.
Okay. All right. Now, did you have a gun with you that day?
I did.
Bradley?
Yes, sir.
All right. And it was in Weldon's truck when you guys were at Tractor Supply?
It was in my bag, yes.
And the bag was in the truck?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. And you guys were going to, when you left Tractor Supply, go to Weldon's farm?
Correct.
All right. Now, as you left Tractor Supply, and I know you're not from here, you may not know the roads as good as some of us, or even the judge does, but let's walk through what happened that afternoon on the roadway, okay?
Okay.
All right. And Judge, let me say there's a lot of exhibits and different things. I'm going to try to minimize the use of them because I think you've seen everything. But if there's anything that you, as I'm questioning him, I've noticed you're not bashful to just break in and ask a question, and I'm good with that.
All right.
All right. Now, so you guys are headed to Loris, and you're riding in the front seat with the passenger side, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. And what was the first contact that you had with Scott Spivey that you recall? How did he come to your attention?
I noticed him when his truck got really close beside us, and that's what caught my attention. And as I looked over, he was pointing the gun at me.
All right, now, with you, and you took some photographs, right?
Later on. Yeah.
Later on. But at that time, you didn't take a photograph of that.
No, sir.
Was the gun being held out the window, propped up, or brandished, or was it pointed directly at you?
It was pointed directly at me.
All right. Did you say anything to Weldon, or did Weldon see that before you had a chance to mention it?
No, I yelled at Weldon.
You Weldon. All right. And from that point on, now we said that, so where was that? There's been some testimony about Weldon sending a text up by Bell and Bell, and immediately thereafter contacted Spivey. Now, the maps we've got don't indicate that, but in your recollection, where was that gun pointing event with you?
Well, I do not know the area that well, but I do know it was after the river and before 905.
All right. Is what you see here on exhibit, what is this?
Exhibit 63.
53. Where we got
63.
Yeah. Where we got Blaze Ward's 911 calls, Spivey forces Weldon off the road. Those were things that happened shortly after that. He pointed the gun at you, correct?
Correct.
So all of this would have happened in that stretch of road
Yes.
between the river and 905.
Correct.
All right. And before that time, you had not seen Mr. Spivey.
No, sir.
And you didn't see him. Of course, you guys didn't go past Bell and Bell because you had left Tractor Supply and turned on number 9, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you had driven a few miles before this started, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So if you would tell the judge after he pointed the gun at you, over the next mile or two, describe the driving of Mr. Spivey.
He was driving very erratic. The first time I seen him, he was pointing the gun at me. I exclaimed to Weldon. I said other words, but I'm going to skip that. He was driving erratic. He would jump in front of us. He would start slamming on the brakes, speed back off, slam on the brakes again. He ran us off the road. The whole time he's doing this, he's also pointing the gun at other people, pointing the gun at us, waving the gun out the window.
Okay, let's have some food for thought. Food for thought. Let's take a short little intermission here. I have to ask the chat a question. If you're watching with us right now, I need you to come out of the bushes and help me understand. You mean that Kenneth Bradley Williams, whatever. Bradley, listen up. You mean you took a picture 2 times of Scott Spivey in his truck with the gun, with his arm resting on the door, window down, with the gun pointing in the air? You know, to me, that would be a signal like, hey, I'm armed, back the F off of me. Yet you say that he pointed a gun in your face and that he pointed the gun directly at other people. Where are the photographs of that? You're busy taking photographs of this whole situation. You could have been filming this whole situation as a passenger. But let me ask you, where are the pictures proving that he pointed a gun at you? Because if you are going to film this debacle, where are the photographs proving that? Where are the photographs proving that he actually pointed his gun at another person? You've only demonstrated via the photos of him riding with the gun pointed out the window with it in the air, likely because y'all are tailgating him. He knows you're following him. Weldon even stated on the 911 call, I'm going to sweep him all the way. He knows my truck is faster than him. I can outrun him. I can catch him. I know he's in fear. These are words that Weldon said. There are recordings of Weldon saying this. I want to see the proof. If you're going to go to this extent, but only show me a picture of him pointing the gun up in the air with his arm resting on the door, I got questions. So y'all let me know in the chat. I mean, you can't exactly, Kara. Saying he was pointing the gun at other people is hearsay. Yes, absolutely. No one can corroborate that statement except for Weldon. Because you know what? Scott Spivey isn't alive. He's not here to tell his side of the story. So how convenient. How convenient that no one took a picture. That's right, because there aren't any. There's only those two pictures of him holding the gun, pointing straight up in the air. Fuzzy Puff said no pictures because it never happened. Isn't that convenient? I just wanted to stop and just reiterate that for anyone that is not familiar with this case. I do encourage you to check out the Scott Spivey playlist. It is under Crime and Corruption on my channel. Please do go over there if you have not heard about this case and you need to get caught up. We have streamed every day of this immunity hearing. And this is the final day. So get your snacks and your drinks and your seatbelts and your tinfoil hats because we're jumping right back into it.
There's madness.
And to your recollection, where were you guys, or when was it that you decided to take some photographs on?
I believe I started taking pictures around 905 area and afterwards.
905 and after?
In that general area.
And the judge has seen these, but since you took them, I want you to look through these, which is Exhibit 35. 35A, 35O, and 35P. And take a look at those and see if those are photographs that you took.
These are all my pictures, yes.
Okay. And Judge, I know you have seen these, but there they are again. And you took those pictures because his conduct was scary, and you wanted to have pictures as proof that he was pointing the gun, right?
Exactly. I wanted the license plate of the truck and a picture with the gun out the window.
Now, up to this point in time, had you done anything to antagonize Mr. Spivey?
No, sir.
And at the time he pulled up beside you, the first contact you had was the pointing of the gun in the truck at you?
Yes, sir.
All right. And then, so you go on and you go through 905 and you guys are following, or again, traveling down Highway 9, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. And was there at some point in time when you saw a white truck of some sort?
Yeah, eventually a white truck did appear.
Maybe, I think somebody, Mr.
Surveyor.
Davis, surveyor, testified that it might have been or was a white Ford 250 pickup.
I can't testify to the brand and the make of it, but I know it was a white truck.
It was a white truck.
Yes.
What did you observe between the white truck and Mr. Spivey as they traveled ahead of you guys?
The same erratic behavior, darting in and out of the lanes, cutting each other off, racing off together.
And again, you're riding Weldon and you're traveling behind those two trucks at that time.
Yes, sir.
You have any idea how fast you and Weldon got between 905 and Camp Swamp Road?
No, sir, I don't.
Do what?
No, sir, I do not.
Okay. All right. You paying more attention than Mr. Spivey, and the
Yeah,
gun than the
that's-
speed.
That's all my focus.
All right. And
Hold on. Hold on. That's your focus. That's your focus. But you didn't get a picture of him pointing the weapon at anybody, but you were honed in and focused on getting pictures to prove his behavior, but you only got 2 pictures of him pointing the gun in the air, but not at anybody. I cannot. That is the dumbest thing I've heard all day. You didn't do a very good job. That's probably why you're not in investigations, right? Tell us more.
tell the court what you saw as you approached Camp Swamp Road.
As we were coming up and approaching, we were still riding along. I had no idea that there was a turn about to happen or anything like that. The white truck that was instigating, or that Spivey and the white truck were initiating with each other. The white truck turned right down Camp Swamp Road, followed by Spivey. He crossed over the lane into, or turning onto Camp Swamp Road. And as we approached, we were calling out the name of the road.
All right, and if you would, with a little more detail, okay, as the white truck and Mr. Spivey are approaching Camp Swamp Road, the white truck is in the right lane, turn lane,
Yes, sir.
is that right?
Yes.
And Mr. Spivey's truck is
in the left lane.
in the left lane. He was not following him, he was in the left lane.
Yeah, they were pretty much side by side.
All right. And so the white truck made a turn, and then your testimony was that Mr. Spivey abruptly changed lanes and turned almost directly into Camp Swamp Road.
Yes, sir.
Did it give you the impression that he was at that time had his attention on the white truck?
Yeah, it looked like they two were actually chasing each other.
All right. After they turned on the Camp Swamp Road, did you see the white truck anymore?
No, it did not.
Did you see Mr. Spivey's truck?
No, sir.
And so when you and Weldon approached Camp Swamp Road,
Yes, sir.
tell the judge what happened.
As we came up to the road and, Weldon's calling out the name of the road and we're starting to make that turn, I noticed Spivey's truck with the brake lights on. And as we completed that turn, Spivey's truck was already stopped and he was getting out of the truck.
All right. Now, we didn't talk about, but just to confirm, you were in the truck with Weldon when he had called 911.
Yes, sir.
All right. And we've all heard the 911 tape. You don't want to hear it again, I don't reckon, do you, Jay? Okay. But on that call, Weldon was asking them to get the police out there to you guys,
Yes,
right?
Yes, sir.
All right.
That was the whole intent.
And when he turned on the Camp Swamp Road, and you see the white truck, you see Mr. Spivey's black truck. All right. If you would tell the judge what happened in the seconds after that.
Spivey stepped out of his truck with the gun in his hand. He looked angry. He was throwing his hands up, yelling at us. We have no idea what he was saying to us. We had already came to a stop at this point. He stepped wide from his vehicle across the yellow lane, and then he was still making some type of gestures, but he stepped wide from his truck and then started to walk from his door back to the rear of his truck. In the process of this, he had already wrapped the slide of his gun, and he had pulled his gun up and he had shot at us.
Now,
and just to add, the best way I can explain this is everything happened very fast. It's a very fluid situation. There's no way I can timestamp how it happened. Everything was happening at one time. There's more than one thing going on at the same time.
All right. And when Mr. Spivey, you said was walking towards the back of his truck, that then would have been walking in the direction of Weldon's truck?
Correct. Towards us.
All right. Now, you obviously had a gun with you.
Yes, sir.
And when did you get your gun out?
After Spivey racked us out of his gun, I began to yell at Weldon to back up, and that's when I reached for my gun.
So you asked Weldon to back up?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Paula, it's good to see you. Thanks for joining us. I hope you're having a great Saturday.
I know the answer, but I want you to tell the judge why.
Because I didn't want to be in a gunfight. I didn't want to be in that type of situation.
You don't say.
Were you fearful at that time?
Yes, sir.
And so your immediate words without much thought was back up, Weldon, back up.
Correct.
All right. And at that point in time, which is in the seconds before you or Weldon shoot the
Weldon, you was, laughing it up and chuckling, throwing your hands up in the air day 1 and 2. What had happened now? Your friend was telling you to back up, but you was already engaged in something that you chose to do. Now, Bradley, let's be honest. You might have been a passenger and an unwilling participant in this situation, but you didn't have to fire your gun. I'm just saying. These are my thoughts and opinions, and I'm just here to share them. Let's go.
gun. Are you in fear for your life?
Absolutely.
Do you believe any reasonable man would have been?
Wait, Bradley, but who put you in that situation to cause you to be in fear for your life? Because if Weldon Boyd had driven the other way and disengaged and called law enforcement and say, hey, there's this vehicle driving erratically, I don't know this person, here's their tag number, and they're headed west on Highway 9 in this direction. Y'all need to get out here immediately before somebody gets hurt. I'm disengaging from following this guy because I don't know what might happen. That would have been the appropriate steps to take. But Brad, the person who put you in this situation was not Scott Spivey. The reason you were fearing for your life is because Weldon Boyd, your friend, put you in a compromised situation. The person you should be mad at, in my opinion, is Weldon Boyd.
In fear for his life?
Yes, sir, I do.
And in your words, why did you shoot when you shot?
Because I had no other option.
Other than
bullshit. You had no other option. It's not my place to judge, but also me. Okay? I am judging. I am judging all day.
And what?
There was nothing else I could do. I can't retreat. I can't get out. I'm there.
You already asked Weldon to back up.
Yes, sir.
And this is happening very quickly.
Yes.
All right. Now, is there any question at all that Mr. Spivey stopped the truck quickly?
He did.
That he jumped out?
He did.
That he had a gun in his hand?
He did.
That he was yelling?
Yes.
That he appeared angry and agitated?
Yes, sir.
And that he was moving towards your truck.
Yes.
And this was the same guy who had pointed the gun at you several miles back up the road.
Yes, sir.
So when you fired the first shot that you fired, all right, Mr. Spivey was clearly in the truck or outside the truck?
He was outside of the vehicle.
And when you started to fire your gun, did you fire it rapidly?
Yes, sir.
And at some point in time, did Mr. Spivey get back in his truck?
He did.
All right. Do you know whether he had been?
You know why he got back in the truck? Because y'all were firing on him. Oh my God.
Wounded or not?
I did not.
Would you demonstrate for the judge how, and stand up if you would, how Mr. Spivey was holding the gun, and you said he at some point in time he pointed at you guys?
Yes, sir.
All right, if you would, with your arm, show the judge how his posture towards you guys and how his arm was at the time you shot.
So you want me to just show?
No, you can do it right there. You can do it. Just turn to the judge and.
Well, he got out of the truck, raises his hands, gun in the hand. He does like a really exaggerated whack at the side. The gun comes up and he shoots. I can't tell you exact angles and all that. Everything's happening very fast. But he does a very exaggerated wide swing.
And if you're.
You know what's interesting about that? It's not what witness testimony says. Brad.
Where you stand now sitting in your truck, would it be your recollection that when he came around with that gun, that he had his right arm raised and the gun pointed at you guys?
Yes.
At some point in time.
I just want to remind you guys, if you did not watch the previous testimonies for the previous 3 days, they're on my channel. There is a gentleman that says that when he went to raise his hand, Scott Spivey, that he was a raising motion with his hand that had the gun, and it was just like it barely came up from his side. Did you see that exaggerated motion that he said that he racked the gun and he showed his shoulder like going way up? Did y'all see that? I'm going to have to make a clip. I'm going to have to go clip what the witness said versus what Bradley said, because those things don't even go together. This is unbelievable. All right, let's carry on.
Did he go back to his truck?
He did.
Did he put his arm down to walk back to his truck?
No, sir, he did not. The gun stayed on us the entire time until he got back to the truck.
And the manner, if
Nah, that is not what witnesses said. He didn't leave the door of his truck. He walked towards your truck, and then you guys fired 40 rounds on him, and he had time to walk back to his truck. I mean, y'all help me. Help me in this moment. It's all happening fast, but Scott got out of the truck, racked the gun in this dramatic way. There's 40 rounds thereabouts. I believe that's what it was quoted in a previous article that was shot by Weldon and Bradley through their windshield of the truck. And Scott had time to walk towards their vehicle and then walk back to his truck and get in the truck. The math is not mathing. Camshaft. These stories do not even add up to what Weldon testified, to what the witnesses testified. None of these stories go together. I'm in disbelief right now. What the hell is happening?
He's facing you guys when the shooting starts, and he goes back. Does he turn to the right, to the left, towards his truck? In other words, what's that?
He's
Here's
going
what
to his
man-
truck like this.
Yeah, and is his
He's going this
arm,
way, his gun's that way.
all right, his armpit is exposed to you?
I believe so, yes, because his arm would have been up.
All right.
Hold on, you
But he
believe
does go
so?
back, and he gets back in the truck.
Yes, sir, he does.
All right.
He said, I believe so. I mean, it's a yes or no question. It's not whether you believe it. It's whether it really happened, Bradley.
And there is shooting certainly before he goes back into the truck. Is there shooting after the truck? After he gets back in the truck?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Really? Because the ballistics don't really show the evidence of that. According to the ballistic evidence, there were live rounds found in his truck. That means they weren't shot. And as far as empty shells, well, it looks like there was one after they examined the tailgate of the truck that looked like there was a shot that was going through the tailgate toward Weldon Boyd that was shot through the tailgate. There was only one empty shell outside of that truck. And you heard the lady from Horry County PD, from the crime forensics unit that went out there to collect all the shells. She said she combed everything all around the truck, in the truck, beside the truck, in the grass, looking for empty shells that may have come. But here's another thing. They allowed people to drive through this crime scene without blocking it off. I mean, what in the Sam hell is going on with Horry County PD right now? Make it make sense. But they only found that spent shell. And you're telling me that he fired his gun, walked toward y'all, and then back to the truck, got in the truck, and continued to fire. But the evidence doesn't show that. I mean, I've got questions. The math is not mathing here, and, we need the facts. And clearly, the facts don't match these stories.
And at some point in time, let me go back and ask you this way. Was Mr. Spivey shooting at you and Weldon in your truck after he got back in the truck?
Yes.
And you could tell that because you could see him and what?
Because I can see it.
All right. Of course, when you saw, and I'll say saw because that's the way you describe it, the first shot that was fired, how did you know that he had fired?
Because I could see the report from the gun. I could see the action. Can I sit down? No. I could see the report from the gun. I could see the action. I mean, I can see that the gun is going off.
And you could see much better than you could hear if you could hear at all.
Correct.
And you and or Weldon shot back simultaneously almost?
I believe so.
Or was there a big gap of time between his shot and your shots?
No, we were very close together.
All of them were very close together.
Yes, sir.
And so you emptied a magazine.
I did.
All right. And so so you would have shot a lot of times. Why did you continue to shoot rather than just shoot one time and stop?
Because he was still a threat.
He was still a threat. You were considered.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Concealed weapon holder?
Permit, yes, sir.
I mean, well, a concealed weapon permit holder.
Listen, I am here today and I'm just going to give my opinions. I am going to share my thoughts and opinions. Form your own opinions. Do your own research. This is not an echo chamber. Use common sense. Respect each other in chat. But I'm going to say this first and foremost. Anybody who is engaged in an altercation such as this, and they have to go to a stand your ground immunity situation, their concealed carry permit should be suspended until all of this is resolved, in my opinion. You know, because when they took their weapons after this crime, and I'm going to call it a crime because it is a crime, occurred, do you know that Weldon went out the next day and bought more guns? Is this somebody who is really upset that he was in fear for his life and had to and killed another man? He goes out and buys more guns to replace the ones that the police took. Are you kidding me right now? That would be the last thing on my mind. Sammy, you know that this is the perfect extort, small town, good old boys covering for their own. Well, this is Horry County. And that doesn't mean every cop is bad or every attorney or every person in a government office. But we got a handful that makes a lot of people look bad. And it's got to come to an end. This is, unfortunately, something that a lot of locals in South Carolina deal with, not just here in Horry County, but all over South Carolina. And I know we cannot be the only state that deals in these law enforcement agencies that are doing things like this. Is that thunder? Yo, it's thundering outside. That's crazy in February. We better not be getting no SNOW, because sometimes when it thunders in the in the winter, my mama used to say that means we might get some of the winter mix. We better not. You better stay away. I'm ready for spring. Sammy says, I hope you can get a documentary made out of this case, Dutchie. Please, the family needs to have that after this case is over. Well, Sammy, I mean, I'm not responsible for doing any documentaries and things like that, but I'm sure that if the family wanted to have that done, they could certainly reach out to the right people. I know that I have worked with other families that have reached out to people because they do want to have a documentary about what's happened to their family done. And that is their right to do that, because they want people to know what happens in these small town cases that involve corruption. And, I support the families that want to do that. Here we support the families, we support the victims. So, and I'm sure that every state has these small town situations that need to be brought to light. So you deal with it in your small town in North Carolina, Camshaft. I'm from North Carolina myself, and I've seen it. I've seen it personally. So I do understand Camshaft for real. It's got to stop. These families deserve to have answers and the truth. And they deserve justice. Scott Spivey deserves justice.
Yes, sir.
Right? You have to take a class to get that.
Yes, sir.
You don't have to do that to get a hunting license, do you?
No, sir.
Or to buy an AR-15, do you?
No, sir.
Okay. But you got to get that concealed weapon, and they teach you how to shoot a gun, what to do about a gun, and they talk about self-defense, don't they?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Wait, what to do about a gun? Morgan Martin, what the hell does that even mean? What to do about a gun? You mean how to clean it? Hell, I can even clean a gun. I know all about it. I know my Second Amendment right. I've taken concealed carry classes. Yeah, you got to know how to operate. You got to know how to load and unload your weapon. You have to know how to clean it. You have to know how to properly store it away from children safely. You got to know how to be able to carry your weapon when you're in your vehicle, on your person, in your home. Yeah, there's a lot more to it than just what to do about a gun. Tell me you don't have a CWP without telling me.
That class that you take that is given by the state of South Carolina, do they tell you that you should continue to shoot until the danger is gone?
Yes.
Is that what you were doing?
Yes.
Do they tell you that you don't have to wait for your adversary to get the drop on you?
They do.
Matthew.
But you didn't immediately shoot when you saw him with a gun,
No, I
did you?
didn't.
Did that scare you?
That startled me, yes.
Were you hopeful that Weldon could back up?
Yes, yes.
All right. But you were pulling a trailer.
Yeah, we were.
All right. And of course, all of this is on the 911 call.
Yes, sir, I believe so.
And while I'm talking about the 911 call, let me divert 1 minute and ask you this. As you guys are traveling down Highway 9 and Weldon on the phone with 911.
That's true, Sam.
We played it on the screen yesterday with you telling Weldon to slow down. You remember that?
I do.
All right. Judge, you don't want me to play that again? No. All right. And so why were you telling him to slow down?
Because I didn't want to be next to the man with the gun. It's not that Weldon was scared me at his speed or anything, but Spivey had been driving erratic. He kept tapping our brakes, and I think short after that he swerved at us. But I didn't want to be close to him. I wanted to see him because I wanted the police to get him, but I did not want to be close to him.
You didn't want to arrest him yourself, did you?
No.
Okay. And so your idea.
How's he gonna arrest him? He's not law enforcement. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? We're doing citizen arrest now? That's not how it works here in my county. We don't be going around exacting vigilante justice and pulling people over that we see that we no with no. What the hell?
You did not want an encounter with Mr. Spivey, did you?
No, sir.
You didn't know he was going to turn down Camp Swamp Road.
I had no idea.
Did you? And of course, while I was in, you were.
All right, here's my question. Sorry to keep, I just have to get this off my chest, y'all, or I'm going to end up with another migraine. Staying silent, stuffing it all inside, that's what causes the migraine, the stress. So I'm just going to tell you like it is. You know why Scott Spivey turned down Camp Swamp Road? Anybody in the chat? Anybody in the chat? I'll tell you why. Because to get to Tabor City, North Carolina, to Scott Spivey's house, he has to turn down Camp Swamp Road. Yeah, that's why Scott Spivey turned down Camp Swamp Road. And that's why he pulled over, because he didn't want all this mess being come to his house. You know who don't live down Camp Swamp Road and had no reason to turn down Camp Swamp Road? Weldon and Bradley. Because in order for Weldon to get to the blueberry farm, now remember, Weldon doesn't live, he said, at the blueberry farm anymore. He's got a condo in North Myrtle Beach, not far from where I live. But don't forget that he was on his way to the blueberry farm. The Duke's home. All right. So to get to the blueberry farm in Loris, you don't turn on Camp Swamp Road, because that'll take you to Tabor City, North Carolina. Weldon would have to stay straight on Highway 9 to take him down to Loris. So the question is not why Scott Spivey turned on Camp Swamp Road. It's why Weldon turned on Camp Swamp Road. And I think we all know the answer to why.
Because he already had a picture of his license plate. He already has pictures of him holding the gun. Yeah.
The Duke's giving his 10 cents, y'all. He's just telling you like it is. Let's go.
Weren't driving any of this time, were you?
No, sir, I wasn't.
Was there ever an agreement between you and Weldon for Weldon to drive whatever speed he drove, or to call 911, or any of that?
There was no discussion.
You are along for the ride at this point in time, correct?
That's right.
All right. You ever suggested you turn down Camp Swamp Road?
No, sir.
And then since you weren't driving, you didn't go down Camp Swamp Road?
Only as a passenger.
As a passenger. And by the time Weldon gets his truck stopped, you are faced with Mr. Spivey out of his truck, angrily moving around with a pistol in his hand.
That is correct.
All right. Anything about what was happening there that did not scare the hell out of you?
There was a lot that scared the hell out of me.
And Mr. Spivey, again, this is rhetorical, but I want the record to reflect, he didn't get out with a white flag.
No. He got out with a gun in his
He
hand.
got out with a gun. Did he do anything at all that made you think?
Hold on. He didn't get out with a white flag? I'm sorry. Is that what we do now? We have to get out with a white flag to surrender to somebody who's chasing us down in a heated fury at speeds between 75 and 113 miles an hour for 9 miles down Highway 9 that we're just trying to get away from. Listen, I'm not excusing that Scott Spivey was drinking and that he might have been behaving erratically. I really can't speak for that, but law enforcement should have handled that. And then Scott could have been held accountable for whatever they decided. If they, said, hey, this is what happened. We're going to arrest you. You're going to have to go to court. He would have still been alive. This is crazy, y'all.
Wanted to kiss and make up.
No, sir. No, sir. Got out with a gun in his
He
hand.
got out with a gun.
I got to take that back a minute. Hang on.
He didn't get out with a white flag.
No. He got out with a gun in his
He
hand.
got out with a gun. Did he do anything at all that made you think that he wanted to kiss and make up?
No, sir.
Okay, what? You don't even know these people. I mean, I think Camshaft, wasn't it you that called him Timu Matlock a while ago? What the hell? We're gonna kiss and make up after you chase me for 9 miles? I can't even believe he said this in a court of law. Sir, sit the hell down.
Few more questions for you, Bradley. When you testified earlier about the white truck and Mr. Spivey moving on out ahead of you guys.
Yeah.
Do you believe and you've been sitting here in the courtroom listening to all the testimony and all of that, is that when you believe that Mr. Spivey reached his speeds of 100 miles per hour plus?
I do believe so, because those two trucks sped off away from us until they hit another pocket of traffic.
Okay. Did that have any appearances at all of his trying to run away from you or Weldon? Or did it appear more he's trying to tangle with the white truck?
The white truck and him were intertangled.
Okay. Did you do anything at all to bring on this exchange of gunfire?
No, sir.
You and Weldon had identical guns,
They're very similar, yes.
and they were the same model and make, right?
Yes, sir.
And what model and make were they?
Shadow Systems MR920s, 9mm, compact, 15 rounds.
All right. And they're both the same caliber?
Yes, sir.
They fire the same ammunition?
Yes, sir.
And when you say there were some difference in them, it seemed like you may have had a sight on yours, but.
Yeah, I believe we both had red dots. Mine had a red dot and a flashlight in the comp.
And your gun was zeroed in at
7 yards.
7 yards. And what does that mean, zeroed in?
The point of aim to point of impact is at 7 yards between the bullet and the sight.
All right. And the distance between you and Mr. Spivey's truck, you have learned since all this event, was a little over 25 yards. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. And you at no time, again, I know it's a rhetorical question, but you didn't get out of your truck to get closer to him so you'd have a better chance of hitting him, did you?
No.
You didn't have time to because he raised his gun and shot.
That is correct.
Or it certainly appeared to you that he was shooting at you.
Yeah, he shot.
All right. And instead of telling Weldon, get closer so we can get a better shot, you were saying, back up, back up, back up.
Real quick, I do want to clarify. There was the one shell that was found outside of Spivey's truck. There was 9 spent shell casings found inside of Spivey's vehicle and 2 live rounds. There were 22 rounds inside of Boyd's truck, according to Tomasi's report. And it was estimated there were 20 bullet holes in Spivey's truck. And only one of those bullet holes looked like that there was a shot that was coming that would have possibly been from Scott facing out towards Weldon. Now, that one spent shell casing found outside Spivey's truck near the driver's side door, there was one projectile that was found in the roadway between the trucks, and they were about 75 feet away from each other, according to Tomasi's testimony. Now, later, Tinsley did ask if it was the Horry County PD's policy to allow suspects to take items from a vehicle when you are investigating. Tomasi said it was not normally what she sees. And although those phones were collected from Boyd and Williams, Williams was allowed to remove a bag from Boyd's vehicle. So I did want to clear that up, that there was a total of 9 spent shell casings and 2 live rounds found in Spivey's vehicle. They unloaded on him. But if somebody was following me, I mean, I don't know what I would do in that situation. I mean, I would feel like I had to defend myself. But you know what would have caused this situation to not happen at all? Is if Weldon would have just told law enforcement Scott Spivey's license plate number and disengaged. Yet, here we are.
Heard any phone calls that Mr. Spivey made to 911?
Not that I'm aware.
And if he had been scared or terrified, there's a lot of businesses along Highway 9 between, there at 905 and between 905 and Camp Swamp Road, isn't there?
Yeah, I believe so.
And there is in fact an EMS Horry County office along that stretch of road, isn't there?
I believe so, looking at the maps.
Plenty of places that he could have pulled off to seek help if he were scared.
Yeah.
When he got out of the truck there on Camp Swamp Road, did he act like he was scared?
No, he was mad. He was pissed off at the world.
Did you see anything in the roadway? Of course, Mr. McMorris testified to what, but did you see anything in the roadway that would have caused him to have to stop?
No.
He stopped as far as you can tell because he wanted to stop.
Yes.
Do you feel like, as you look back on it, that you might have been ambushed?
Yeah, that's exactly what it feels like.
Did you do anything that day to start this trouble, Bradley?
Nothing.
Were you looking for trouble that day?
No, I was supposed to be going to the farm.
You've never been involved in a shootout in your life, have you?
I have not.
Never shot at anybody in your life, have you?
No, sir.
You're sorry that all of this happened?
I hate
Bradley?
that it happened, yes.
And you did what you did because you were trying to be sure that you didn't get killed.
That is correct.
And on those 911 calls, after this has happened, you can be heard, it appears, to say something like, Weldon, why in the F couldn't you leave him alone?
Yeah.
You said that, didn't you?
I did say that.
All right. Was that a thought out, a spontaneous statement, or what was that?
That was directly after the shooting had stopped. I am scared to death. I didn't want what just happened to have happened. I didn't want to be in that situation. I was scared.
All right. Couple other questions. There was a lull in the shooting after Mr. Spivey got back in the truck. Is that correct?
You said a what?
A lull, a brief time when instead of bam, 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 there was silence and then there was more shots, right?
Yes, sir. He got back in his truck and I stopped shooting. I did reload my gun while he did get back in his truck, but I did not shoot back at him until we know that he shot back at us from his truck.
So he clearly shot back and that's when you shot again.
Yeah, a few more times, yes.
And of course, you're watching him, you're not watching Weldon to see what he's doing or what he's shooting or whatever?
I'm not paying attention to Weldon.
All right. And when you made the statement that why couldn't you leave him alone? That was not a condemnation of what Weldon had done. It was just a thought that was in your mind that came out at the time.
That's not a fair question.
It's not.
No. It's a great example of a perfectly leading question.
Well, we've been doing a lot of leading.
Yeah, well, that's about the worst one I heard.
Boom. Once again, Judge Griffin comes in and has to tell him exactly like it is. Well, that's about the worst one I heard, leading the witness. This is unbelievable.
Or the best one I heard.
Best one.
Whichever way you want to grade it.
I like that better. I like that better.
In regards to Weldon, I said what I said at that moment, but I don't disagree with what Weldon did. I didn't see what he was doing wrong. He called the police to let them know that the man with the gun is acting crazy.
And he needed
to be taken
off
off the road. Yeah, he's a danger to everybody around him.
Did you give him the license plate number and the information so they could handle it? Or did you just take the law into your own hands?
That's my question right there. I mean, has anybody said, you've taken numerous photos of him with his gun. You've got photos of the back of his truck with the license plate on it. Why do you see him pulled over on Camp Swamp Road? In Weldon's testimony, he said he could see him from a ways off because him and this other white truck were going at it, right? He sees Spivey pulled over on the side of the road. So Weldon takes it upon himself. This is after all the pictures have been taken. They've got his license plate number. They've called 911. Why does he feel the need to force a confrontation with this guy? He pulls up behind him. He's the one that initiated the conversation. There's no ambush here. If anybody's getting ambushed, it's Scott Spivey.
And you thought that even you, to some extent, had a social duty to try to get the police to get this guy off the road.
Yeah, that's what needed to happen. That's the whole point.
That's all the questions I have.
All right, same pattern did last. Mr. Timothy.
Yes, he's off. He's parked on the side of the road. The Duke's getting irritated.
So your testimony today is essentially that what you just said is that Scott Spivey was a danger to everybody, and you all recognize that immediately, right?
Yeah, he's got a gun.
That's right. You got a gun, and you say he pointed at you, but you didn't think it was enough of a threat in that moment to shoot him in, did you?
It just happened.
You did not shoot him at that point in time, did you?
I did not.
And after that, it wasn't pointed at you, was it?
It had pointed at us numerous times down Highway 9.
Well, you didn't get any photos of that, did you?
I did not.
Preach, preach. We got the tiger.
Once he got in front of you, and you agreed, and you testified to this previously, once Scott Spivey's truck got in front of the truck in which you were riding, he was always in front of you.
Yeah, I believe so, yes.
Yeah. And so, again, in terms of an imminent threat to you, in the moment when he points the gun, according to you, he went on by and you didn't shoot, right?
I did not shoot at him on Highway 9. That is correct.
So there was a lot that scared you that day, is what you said today, because this was a long encounter, right?
That was fairly long and fairly short at the same time, yes.
Well, and it went on for a fairly long time before you all finally decided, or Mr. Boyd called 911, right?
Well, at the beginning, after he had pointed the gun at me and he has got in front of us, there was multiple points where he was brake checking us. He ran us off the road.
Did you understand my question?
I must not have. Can you repeat it, please?
Yes. You all interacted with Scott Spivey for a long distance before 911 was called.
I don't know if it was that long, sir.
Okay. Told to do
Did I ever pull my gun out of my bag or out of my holster? And as far as I know, I've never seen Weldon's gun.
And your testimony is that your bag with big zipper backpack, and then somewhere down inside of that was your gun in a holster.
That is correct, yes.
Okay. Now, Mr. Martin asked you, did you do anything to encourage this? At no point did you tell Weldon to stop, did you?
There was nothing to tell him to stop doing.
That's right, because you were in full agreement with what he was doing.
Calling the police, yes.
Well, you were in full agreement with the way he was pursuing and the pursuit that you all made.
He called the police.
Go to 38. That's this.
Hey, Swamp Girl, good to see you.
37, 17, 38.
Weldon, from stopping before going to Camp Swamp Road?
No.
Were you in full agreement with the idea to pursue Scott Spivey?
To follow him, yes.
You didn't voice any objection because you didn't have one. Is that fair?
I didn't see anything wrong as far as what Weldon was doing. He was calling 911 and following direction.
There was nothing that kept Weldon from stopping before you all turned on the Camp Swamp Road, right?
No.
There was nothing in this entire encounter with our 1,000 data points. It's about 1,000 points.
Okay.
At any point in time, you all could have stopped because you had his license plate from jump, right? The very beginning.
Why should we have to stop?
Well, that's right, because y'all are heroes in chasing this bad guy down, right?
Right.
Okay.
Why did he stop?
Well, I assume he stopped because of this mysterious white truck you all say he's engaged in, but the reality is that he was being chased by two people with their guns out.
No guns were out.
Right? Two people chased you with guns out for an extended period of time. You believe you have a right to defend yourself, don't you?
Can you repeat that one more time?
If two people with guns out chase you at more than 100 miles an hour for a significant length of time, be it 4.6 miles, 9 miles, 1 mile, you would have a right to defend yourself, would you not?
But that's not what happened.
But you agree with me that you would.
I do not agree.
Please answer the question.
That's fine.
Sustain that objection.
Now, you said to Mr. Martin in the slow down part was that you were telling Weldon to slow down because you didn't want to be close to Scott Spivey's vehicle. And at that point, he was getting close to Scott's vehicle, correct?
That was also around the time when Spivey was tapping his brakes, yeah.
Yeah, it was right after the 113 mile an hour stretch, right?
I believe that would be before. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I really don't know.
That's right. Weldon was angry when Scott ran him into the median, wasn't he?
Who's happy to be ran off the road?
So the answer is yes, as you testified under oath previously, correct?
Yeah, who wouldn't be mad?
Okay. And you agree that Weldon exceeded the speed limit after that point in time?
Yeah, I do agree with that.
Now, you and Weldon used Messenger to communicate, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you saw Mr. Boyd testify in his deposition that he did not tell you to delete any Facebook messages, right?
I didn't see that.
You were sitting at the table.
I was about to fall asleep.
Okay. He did ask you to delete Facebook messages, right?
He did.
And based on his instruction, you did that, correct?
Hey, Bellas. Good to see you.
Now, go to audio 7. $851, 36.
With 911, I looked over at Bradley, and Bradley he had this look on his face, and he was just staring. I said, Bradley? And he didn't look at me. I said, Bradley. And he looked at me, I said, check yourself. And he checked his stomach and everything. I said, you good? He was like, yeah, I'm good. And I said, you did good. And he just kind of stared at me, and then he just kind of looked back at the truck.
Well, Bradley's never been in a firefight, so.
Well, he fucking did amazing. And I sent him a message last night and told him that. I said, you got in the fight, you stayed in the fight, you didn't ask questions, and you didn't hesitate. I said, you're a fucking warrior.
What?
I sent him a message last night and said, you're a effing warrior.
Wow. You didn't ask questions. You didn't hesitate.
He was looking. That tells me right there. Weldon Boyd was looking for a confrontation with this guy. This guy had already pissed him off. Spivey had pissed him off by running off the road. That's confirmed with Bradley Williams here. That, yeah, we don't know the conversation that he had, but I tell you what, if somebody had pointed a gun at me and I've got my CWP and my pistol with me, I'm pulling my gun out immediately and I'm holding it in my hand because we're going to go chase this guy down. That's the way it looks to me.
Yeah, that's the way it plays out. I mean, but for us personally, we're not going to.
And where is this mysterious white truck that he was racing with or whatever, that this guy was long gone, out of sight? We don't know who he is.
It's like Camshaft said, it's a ghost white truck. It's mysterious. Nobody knows.
Why has this ghost white truck never come forward with all this, all the publicity that's come about of it, and confirmed any of Boyd and Williams' story for any of this? I mean, I think this is a mysterious white truck that nobody knows, and it's not in any of the photos either, is it?
Not that I've seen. I mean, they
did take a yellow Jeep photo with a woman driving that they claim that he pointed a gun at her. There's no photos of him actually pointing a gun at anybody though. He is holding a gun up and he's got his arm resting on the
door. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's the fact that he left him this message. He's doing this because he wants him to know, like, hey, you know, I need you to be on my side.
You did good. You did good. We accomplished what we set out to do. That's what it sounds like.
Exactly. Let's take it back just a little bit. All right, here we go.
Well, Bradley's never been in a firefight, so.
Well, he fucking did amazing. And I sent him a message last night and told him that. I said, you got in the fight, you stayed in the fight, you didn't ask questions, and you didn't hesitate. I said, you're a fucking warrior. And he did. He got right in that fight, and he fucking fought it out. And he did not stop until it was over.
Unbelievable.
He sent you a number of messages about what happened that night on Messenger, didn't he?
No.
He sent you that one, didn't he? What he's talking about there, he sent you.
Well, there was brief communication from a few days after, but there was nothing in there What I considered important or nothing I was hiding from the police or anything like that.
Okay, I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
Nothing that you were hiding from the police? What?
Why did he go ahead and fill the
How about this? How about
Yeah, why did he feel the need to put that in, insert that? Nothing that I'm hiding from the police. You don't say.
What were you hiding? We're going to get to that. Let's go with Tiger here.
first pull up the text? So you saw me do this yesterday when we pulled up all the texts that were downloaded.
Sure.
And what we can do here is we can put your phone number in there and find all the texts that were sent to you. And this is all the texts that are on this phone from September the 9th till the phones were collected by Mr. Moss on, I think, September the 13th, right?
I'm not sure. I handed mine to
You
Robert.
don't have any reason to dispute that.
I handed mine to Robert Ely.
That's your phone number, 1843, that one right there that's highlighted?
Yes, sir.
All right. And that 9078, that's the code to the gate at the farm, correct?
I believe so, yes.
He sent that to you at what time?
Where's the time? 14:51.
Okay. That's about what time you said you got to the farm, right?
Sure. I'm not sure.
And that's the only text message that's on those phones from Mr. Boyd to you, assuming that when we do control F, it finds yours. You have any reason to dispute that?
No.
Nothing in that about you being a fucking warrior and getting in the fight and staying in the fight, is there?
No, sir.
You all talked about on Messenger the bullet holes, because you were very concerned about the bullet holes, weren't you? In the back of Mr. Spivey's truck.
No, it was just examining what we saw.
In the Messenger chat, correct?
Yeah, it was in Messenger.
For the 48, all the other 48? 91? 12, 14.
If that's a shot, that's why I texted you and said, this was him shooting at us.
That was in Messenger where you're all talking about it, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. I won't play all the other 73. And for the record, that call that you just heard was September the 12th at 7:51 p.m.
And the only reason we had the roller with us was because we were going to put a different trigger in it that night. The lap.
Now, he's telling you right here why it is and what you're supposed to be saying to the police, correct?
I don't know what this is.
Well, play the whole call.
Yeah, where?
Hey, a couple of things. Go back on Facebook and just delete our chat again between you and I. And then if they ask, me and you just talk through the JR, me, you and chat, or we text or call each other. Second thing is the upper and lower were separated, and the only reason we had the lower with us was because we were going to put a different trigger in it that night. The last thing is the family's furious that they didn't see their phones. So Ken's trying to work it out. The superiors are saying, well, we're going to need to do a data dump. And Ken's telling them that they're not privy to a data dump. So there's a war over the phones right now. What Ken's trying to work out is, because the family's saying that there's pictures we withheld from the investigation, which is a lie. So Ken's trying to arrange it where the detective can we hand our phone to the detective, he can look through and check, make sure all the pictures that we got are the ones that he was given to, which they were. But Ken's gonna fight them on this data dump shit because our internet search history, our banking information, all that other crap is none of their business.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I have to stop it right here because
Just delete that conversation on Messenger. And
spinning the narrative right here. Because they're saying that we didn't give them the pictures that they wanted. Okay, if they don't go back in your data, how do we know that the pictures on your phone are the only pictures that you took and that you didn't delete them here? Because here you are admitting that you are willing to delete conversations because you got something to hide.
also,
So how can
they're
I
wanting
trust?
to do a data dump where they get rid of data too.
Tell me somebody isn't feeling a tad bit guilty without telling me. You're telling us right here. I'm telling you, this is why this is so very important, because if there was not digital forensics, if they did not FOIA and get all of this information, if SLED did not allow all of this to be heard, we would just have their word and Scott Spivey wouldn't have a word because he's not alive.
Let's hear how Tiger handles this one.
So as far as the pictures, do they have the pictures that you took?
Yeah, there's a few that they don't have, but I explained to Ken this because it's the truck 100 yards ahead of us in blurry. It's not relevant. There's nothing, but
After the incident.
yes, they got the picture where he slumped over. Ken had all that.
Okay, so I ain't gonna worry about deleting those.
No, you don't. I don't delete any pictures. I mean, and you know, we provided what were relevant. If they say, well, we wanted the picture of the truck 100 yards up the road also, okay, well, there it is. I didn't delete it.
Okay. But just delete the Facebook comment.
And then just say that that we were going to put a trigger in the lower, and that upper was there. We just had the can on it. I mean, just it was separated. That gun had not been assembled. Because you can have a lower and an upper ready to go with the intention of filing for a Form 1 and not assemble them, right?
Yeah, it's just a nitty-gritty attempt to manufacture.
Yeah.
That was the issue. It was not, that's the honest configuration because it was not together. But they're right beside each other. I mean, they're in the same department, same place.
Yeah, we'll be able to fight that off. Then the family was furious about, some of the cops were even confused that we had flashbangs, and that was a crime. And the detective was told those are not real flashbangs; those are airsoft fireworks. Yeah. So this is the family. The family is doing all they can, and yeah, we got airsoft guns.
How we do?
So,
This is unbelievable.
and Ken even said that Alan's getting sick of this now. So that's the detective.
That's the main guy we talked to.
Yeah, Ken said he's.
The detective's already getting sick of you. You know why? Because even he see.
This is 3 days into it after the shooting, right? This is the 12th.
I mean, because let's not forget, right when it happens and he calls Brandon Strickland, his friend, who's with the Horry County PD at home and said, hey, I need you to come out here. I shot somebody. And then Brandon has to tell him, like, hey, we got to be careful. Like, I can't just come out there. Like, yeah. But he's going to send his people. Like, from the jump, Weldon has been trying to take control of this narrative to make sure that he isn't charged, and he has been walking free without being held accountable. He was never arrested. He never did one single minute in jail for taking Scott Spivey's life because he claimed stand your ground immunity. When you hear all of these facts in these 4 days, it burns me up. And as a local tax-paying citizen, this is why we demand justice.
He's getting sick of this shit. He's ready to close it out. So,
Now, who actually closes it out?
Jimmy Richardson.
Okay.
So just delete that one thing, and then we'll let you know what to do.
Right.
And you did, right?
I deleted the Facebook account.
And you knew that the family wanted those phones, were trying to get this information, because he told you that, correct?
I just said delete the Facebook convo because he didn't want the information that he sent before this incident. He didn't want any of that leaked out.
I think we all heard the conversation. Let's go to audio 48, 111, 6 through 112, 10.
This witness did show up this morning, and that witness is completely against us. Yeah, and Ken did bring that to my attention. I didn't tell you about it because he said give it a couple hours because the tech's gonna look into it. And the guy called Ken back later this afternoon and told Ken she's pretty much saying that the guy had a gun in his hand and was hollering at him to leave him alone, and they just started shooting and gunning him down. But he said, but what she's saying makes no sense because you got 5 other witnesses that tell a completely different story, and hers just comes out of nowhere, out of the woodworks, and she.
Really? Because I heard some of the other witnesses' testimony, and it doesn't even match your testimony. But carry on.
I don't think she could even specifically explain where she was at the time, whether she was passing by on 9. So they disregarded it.
Okay, so it's not going to be filed in the report.
It'll go in the report, but it doesn't match the other 5, so it's not relevant. It's not plausible.
When he told you that there was a witness that said that Scott Spivey got out of his truck, was yelling at you, and then you all opened fire on him, your response was, oh God. Right? It didn't happen.
That was just a sarcastic remark.
Okay. And then your next concern was whether or not that information was going to make it into the report.
I was just curious. I don't want to have any of this words.
You were relying on Weldon through the police to handle this, right?
Well, Weldon would call me, I'll answer the phone, and we would chat.
You know that if this had happened somewhere else in a different agency, it would have been a different result, don't you?
Jack,
I'm sorry.
obviously he can't know that.
Well, hold on just a second now. I'm sorry, I didn't hear his answer.
I don't think that's a fair question to him. He's a mechanic.
Yes. Give me 1 second. Go to 108, 17 through 109, 55.
work to or so.
You do believe so? It's been difficult, right?
It's difficult regardless.
That was September the 12th, 2023 at 7:51 PM. And you didn't think anybody was listening, right?
I had no idea it was being recorded.
Yeah, that's right. Once you go to the 911 call, Keith. 691 through 757.
Camp Swamp Road. He's stopping. All right, so he's turning onto Camp.
I was hoping to skip forward, but it looks like it wasn't that long of a break.
Dude, I don't know. All right, so he's turning onto Camp Swamp Road. Camp Swamp Road. He's stopping. He's stopping. Hey, we're about to have a fucking shootout, dude. This dude's got a gun. He's got a fucking gun. We're at, hey, running back up. I can't put it in gear.
Sorry guys, I didn't realize that we were going to have pew pew fire, so trigger warning on that. Sorry for anybody that was not expecting that to happen. I was delayed at getting it in the chat, so this is the, yes, I know, all those shots, Abel's, for sure.
Back it up. Hey, help us, please.
All right. The pause was after a whole bunch of shots, right?
Yes, you talk. When you could hear my gun moving around?
The click.
Yeah.
You or him, one was out at that point. Right?
I ran out.
And in that moment, the first thing you said was, why couldn't you leave him alone? That's what you said, right?
No, that was after.
Immediately after the shooting.
Immediately after the shooting. I've already explained that with Mark.
You knew well to put you in this position, didn't you?
I did not want what had just happened to have happened.
Mr.
That's
Williams,
why I'm yelling at him to back up, back up.
I asked you about whether or not he made that statement to you during your
I
deposition.
just want to reiterate, if you just saw what happened, I really don't want to play it again with all the gunfire, but he did not tell him back up, back up, back up until about 29 shots were fired. And then he told him to back up.
One thing I noticed in the 911 call was Weldon is telling the 911 dispatcher, he's pulling over. We're about to have a shootout.
He's got a gun, but he already knew that because he'd been following.
He said he's pulling over. We're about to have a shootout. So this is Weldon's plan from the beginning.
This tells
when the first encountered and he noticed Spivey has a gun, he says, he's got his gun. We got our guns. We're going to have a shootout.
Premeditation, in my opinion.
And then he said, he's pulling over.
We're going to have a shootout.
He's pulling over because they were chasing him.
He pulled on Camp Swamp because that's
We have
the road.
another witness that was just in this before that says, and Weldon's explaining that to Williams right here. He's explaining it to him. He says, there's another witness that says he was just yelling at us and we opened fire. And that's when Bradley Williams said, oh God. And he says, I was just being sarcastic. That's what he told
Right.
Tinsley.
And the reason that he turned on Camp Swamp Road, Scott Spivey, is because that's the way to Tabor City, North Carolina, where he lives.
He was going home.
He was going home. Weldon Boyd and Bradley Williams wasn't going to Tabor City. They were going to Loris, South Carolina, where the blueberry farm is.
They had about 3 or 4 more miles to go before they turned
left.
But they turned right on the Camp Swamp Road.
So they had no business even stopping or turning on the Camp Swamp Road, much less saying, I'm getting ready to get into a shootout. That's premeditation, in my opinion.
He told him, he said, we're about to have a shootout. He hadn't even stopped the truck yet.
Yep.
He's stopping. He's pulling over.
Yes, before anything even transpires, he's already in his mind, there's going to be a shootout. Like, he could have disengaged at that minute and kept going straight.
And then even his buddy said, why couldn't you just leave him alone?
After all of this.
It's because, yeah, but he said, why couldn't you just left him alone? He was antagonizing Spivey after he got run off the road. That was it.
It's the
He was
victim
going to have a
hero syndrome.
He was going to have a confrontation with him, and he already planned on it.
Yep.
Issue. And you told me you didn't think you did, right?
I haven't listened to it. I didn't, at the time, I did not remember saying that. And then to this day, I don't remember saying it. But I'm well aware that I did.
And you didn't remember him telling you, when I took your deposition, that he had a fucking blast?
No, I didn't know there was any phone calls recorded until after my deposition. Or I didn't go and listen to them until after the deposition.
Well, I understand you didn't know when you testified under oath that there were phone calls. That was not my question. I asked you, did he tell you he had a fucking blast? And then did y'all joke about getting teardrop tattoos? And you said you didn't recall.
Yeah, I mean, it's not uncommon for us to make dark jokes or sarcastic remarks.
But you did agree that it would have been so shocking that if he had uttered those words, you would have recalled, right?
I don't remember. But on face value, that does sound terrible. It does.
You're damn right.
I'm happy to play you saying those words. You don't disagree that when I asked you under oath, you told me you didn't remember it. And if he had said it, it would have been shocking and you would have remembered, right?
And that is true.
Okay.
Poor family. You're going to get teardrop tattoos and they're making dark jokes. Oh, it's not uncommon for us to make dark jokes. You literally gunned a man down and now you're joking about getting a teardrop tattoo on your face. Y'all, language warning, get the fuck out of here. This is.
I hear it. He planned on the confrontation. I mean, that's cutting dry.
You've been watching while this trial's been going on, correct?
Yeah, here and there.
So this is
here and
the sketch that
I'm not really paying attention.
Quit lying. You know you watch it every minute.
it's not in evidence.
It's a page number out of her report.
Boy, you are a terrible, terrible liar. If you watch this and you happen to see my channel, I'm local to you. Don't think we don't see you. Don't think people aren't looking at you like there's no way that anybody can ever respect you after I don't fuck with you. Nope.
How about this? I'm just going to mark it as the next plaintiff's exhibit. So we have this because Mr. Boyd marked on it yesterday.
That's fine, because there's an unmarked copy in her report.
Okay, so I'm going to mark this one as 23.
I think there may be a 11 by 17 copy of it somewhere. That's bigger.
Now, You told me in your deposition that when Scott was standing at his door, based on where you were sitting, you couldn't see him. His body was obscured, right?
I believe I want to say he stepped wide or stepped over the other line.
We're gonna get to that, but you agree with me, when he's right there in the door, you can't see, because it's a jacked up truck, and your angle is such that what you said was, you can't see him until he steps into the oncoming lane.
I don't believe I said that.
Okay. Pull up.
Let's do. Page 31. Page 30. You got the.
Out of the vehicle at that point?
Yes.
And is he advancing, to use Weldon's word?
At that point, he has already grabbed the gun and aimed it at us when I was yelling at Weldon to back up, back up.
Okay. So when that happens, is he, like Weldon said, at the back of the truck?
I can't say he made it all the way to the back of the truck, but I can say that he advanced from the door, but I can't remember if he made it to the end of the truck, like Weldon said.
Hey, Rubber Ramada. Thanks for joining us. I hope you're having a great Saturday, love.
Because I can't see him his full body.
That's my next question. Does he ever come far enough towards you, away from his door, where you can see his full body?
When he stepped out into the oncoming lane, I can see his whole body.
Okay. So when does that happen?
After he steps out of the truck. He steps out of the truck with a gun in his hand. He starts mouthing off. We don't know what he's thinking. He racks the slide, over exaggerated, rack of the slide. He brings it forward, he points, and he shoots. But as he's mouthing off, when he gets out of the truck, he does a sidestep into the oncoming lane and then advances back towards us.
Okay. And he's in the oncoming lane when he's doing that?
Yes, but that's when he's mouthing off. And then that's when he does a racket slide. And then when he comes back to point back at us, he's making his way back towards the edge of his truck.
You didn't know about Frank McMurray when you said that, did you?
No, I never saw Frank McMurray.
That's right. But you agree with me that all that in the oncoming lane can't happen if there's a truck driving in that oncoming lane.
Object to the form of the question. This states the facts in the record. McMurray said he is driven by, and there's 75 yards between the vehicles.
I heard the testimony. Rephrase the question.
I think the court understands the point. Mr. Williams, at no time did you tell little boy to stop?
No, I did not.
At no time did you tell him not to turn on the Camp Swamp Road when you saw him stopping, Scott Spivey stopping on Camp Swamp Road?
I never told Weldon to stop.
Okay. No time when you get to the apron, the beginning of Camp Swamp Road where it meets 9, you don't dispute that you could see the truck clearly, at least before you make the turn, right?
I didn't see his truck until we came up to Camp Swamp as we're making that turn.
And at that point, you don't tell Weldon to stop.
No,
You never tell Weldon, let me out of the truck.
I'm not getting out of that truck when a man's outside of the truck with a gun.
Before that.
Before what? I'm sorry, rephrase the question. I'm
You
sorry.
never told him at any point in time, stop, I don't want to be in this scary situation that's now gone on for miles. Let me out.
Well, after the initial problems we had with Spivey, once him and the other white truck were engaged with each other, we were further back. At that point, I'm sitting there thinking we're about to see an episode of Cops. That's what we wanted. We wanted the police to come get Spivey off the road.
If that's what you wanted, then why were you the ones that were pursuing him?
I thought there was a whole lot of brake checking and stuff like that. What does he mean they were further back? I thought there was a whole lot of brake checking because Weldon was following him.
Too close.
Yeah. I mean, that's when you brake check somebody.
But now they're
is
far
when somebody
back.
is on your ass.
And
you know,
wouldn't you, if you did?
now they're further back, and he's back up with this mysterious white truck. And
wait, so let me get this straight. They knew there was going to be an episode of Cops, and that's why they needed the police involved. But also,
I understand everybody's got this morbid curiosity, and you know, whenever you see blue lights behind a car on the side of the road, everybody's rubbernecking, looking to see, hey, do I know this person? Is anybody hurt? Things like that. Everybody has this little morbid curiosity. So I can understand. Yeah, I'd like to see a live episode of Cops. I understand that, but he's the one that's doing all the antagonizing here.
and why didn't he tell him, like, hey, I don't want to be in this. Let me out.
His buddy is the one that's driving the friggin' vehicle. If it would have been me, I'm like, no, we're not doing this. We got plans to go to the farm to set up this fan that we just bought from Tractor Supply to put this exhaust fan in the barn. Let's go do that because we're having a party tomorrow.
Because if you're a friend,
You know?
you're going to talk your friend down off the ledge from getting engaged in something.
Let it go. Let it go.
Exactly.
Let it go, Weldon.
That's
what I would have been doing.
He just admitted he did not say anything until after it was over with.
No, because as soon as Weldon got run off the road, he looked over at him and went, "We're fighting. We're going to kill this mother." I guarantee you that's what happened. There was a whole lot of conversation that we don't know about. There was 9 miles of conversation before he ever made a phone call to the cops that we're not privy to.
4 miles.
And they've had plenty of time to get their story straight because these
4 miles before he called
these
911.
friggin' cops never separated them. As soon as there's a crime like this, you separate everybody and get their story before they have a chance to make their story matching. They didn't do that with these guys.
They let them sit with the witnesses.
They let them sit together for hours and go,
witnesses.
this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. You separate witnesses immediately.
You had a cop write down, act like a victim on a piece of paper.
Yes.
And show it to him. Why you got to even tell
There's
somebody
so
what
many
they know?
drop balls in this investigation. It's ridiculous.
Listen, the Duke has his opinions. Y'all know it is what it is. I mean, we're invested. This happened right up the street from us. You know, these types of situations affect us. If we're just going to let people go around chasing people down in a road rage incident because somebody ticked them off and taking the law into their own hands.
I really wish it wasn't 2 years ago and it was like 2 days ago. I want to see the tire tracks in the median where this guy actually ran Weldon Boyd off the road.
They don't exist. I'm sure of it. But listen, there was just another road rage shooting on Highway 90. And you know what? That guy
We'll jump in the friggin' truck right now if it was, not 2 years ago.
Yeah, we could just ride out there and like take a look at the scene, I mean, because we've done that before. We remember when there was an incident up here where the people were at the boat dock and we jumped in the truck and rode up there and we got a little close. But yeah, we live streamed the whole thing. And because listen,
we weren't chasing or following anybody.
Exactly.
We didn't have no pistols with us, no pew-pews.
No, because we're not down like that. You feel me? Like we are not going to abuse our rights. Like this, the Duke and I, we're not out here wilding out. We want people to be protected and feel safe in our community. And people like this do not make us feel safe in our community. We're all about making sure that we're protected, that our friends, our family, our neighbors, you know, we deserve to have that. We are tax-paying citizens here. And this is why this is so important. Long before I had a YouTube channel 4 years ago, I was raising awareness in our community about trafficking and missing people. We have such a chronic situation going on in Horry County. And that's why if you see something, you got to say something. And that's when I created a safe place to have these important conversations with differing opinions, educational awareness for where I live. I'm from the Carolinas, and you know, we need more people to speak up about things that are going on where they live, because people need to be aware that this is not just a South Carolina problem. Every state has crimes and missing people, just like we do. I only know about where I live, and this is the area where I can shine because this is what I know about. So. Hey, Shauna. Shauna says, I'm back. I lost a signal at my client's house because of the wind. Yeah, the wind, the gale warning out here is picking up. I think we've got some kind of cold front moving in. According to Miranda, I see we're going to get some cold weather. I tell you what, my joints are feeling it. So for sure. If you are catching us reviewing day 4 of the Stand Your Ground hearing from Conway, South Carolina, we are streaming WPDE ABC 15. Want to give them a shout out. Also want to give another shout out to Joe Catanacci. He is originally from New Jersey, but he hosts Hot Talk 99.5 locally WRNN out of Saugastee, South Carolina. And he actually gave my channel a shout out on his talk show. He is in support of Scott Spivey and his family in this Stand Your Ground case. And so I just want to give a shout out to Mr. Joe Catanacci. So thank you, Joe, for shouting out my YouTube channel. If you're watching my channel because you heard him shout me out, welcome. My name is Duchess, and the Duke is here with me. And this is where we talk about true crime missing cases. We do a little bit of cooking and a little bit of fun stuff. And we just basically go on some adventures. We cover Carolina folklore, do a variety of things. And today we're talking about this case. So thanks for joining us. Please hit that like and share it out. And join up to the membership.
So you all going to chase him till the police got there?
We followed him while on the phone with 911.
In excess of the speed limit.
Thank you, Abelus, for gifting 10 memberships to the Dutch Bus. Welcome. Hey, NorCal Jim, it's good to see you. Hope you're doing good. The Duke is here. He didn't play disc golf today. He played real golf.
Let's get back to hearing this testimony, please, babe.
I want to welcome Cold Truth, Toe Beans, Penny Monroe, Nikki Bzz, and Cat Lady, Miss Independent, C Legal Canada, Jilly, and Just Tits McGee, and Rebecca Marnie to the Dutch Bus. Welcome. I appreciate you, Abelus, for gifting 10 membership.
Seatbelts, everyone! Double Dutch bus coming down the street.
Thank you, Abelus. I appreciate you so much. All right, let's get back into it.
I don't know how fast we were going.
But you agree you've testified in excess of the speed limit?
I'm sure we were, yeah.
That's all the questions I have now.
Moss.
Quick, oh, yeah, Mr. Moss. Quickly. There's the,
Sure. Mr. Marshall, stay right there. Yes, we're doing it. Yes. Hang on. He's got none. You're up.
Last couple of questions that Mr. Tinsley asked you. By the time you saw that Scott Spivey's truck wasn't stopping, the brakes were on, it was stopping or had stopped, you guys had already turned into Camp Swamp Road and could not stop without getting off number 9, could you?
As soon as I seen Spivey's truck is when we were already in the process of making the turn onto Camp Swamp Road.
All right. And he was stopping at that time, but you didn't see that he had stopped before you guys ever got to Camp Swamp Road, did you?
That is correct.
That's all I have.
All right. You may step down.
This is actually the end of part 1. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. What did y'all think about that? That was the morning testimony. And we are actually going to go over to the end of day 4 so we can hear what the judge is going to say. How are you guys feeling about this? I mean, it's pretty wild, for sure. Let me get over here. I want to see if I can pull up this next one. Because I don't want to keep y'all here all day. I got to go make me a... What you want, babe, for dinner? Chicken
pot pie.
Chicken pot.
Homemade.
Homemade chicken pot pie is what he wants. So I got to make a homemade chicken pot pie, y'all. It is what it is. So let me see here. I want to be able to find a clip of that last part. It looks like WPD only streamed. Oh, wait, here we go. Maybe this. No, that was it. That's what we just watched. It's the same one. How do you have the... You didn't upload part 2? It looks like WPDE did not upload part 2. They only did the morning, but they did not actually do part 2 of day 4. So I'm going to give you the summary of what had happened that day. Let me see if I can go over here and find what I want to show you on that. Let's see. I don't see anybody that's got a clip of that I can actually go to. But I do have a clip that I put out on my channel that I can kind of give you a summary. And we can also watch this clip from Fitz News because I think that would be very fitting. Because I really want to hear what you guys to hear what the judge had to say at the end, and I want to see if this video has anything, but I think it just has Will talking in this particular video. Yeah, it's funny how they don't have the end of that up. So we will just play my video short. So let me pull that up. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys the short sum up version. So Hannah says, we don't do plea deals in the UK, even if you confess. And Rubber Ramada says, Hannah, I think immunity is overused in the court. And you're making chicken fried steak for dinner? That's yum. Abelus, you better get on your way. I'm getting ready to go cook as soon as I end this live stream, so it'll probably be a couple hours. But I think he's going to go ahead and put the chicken on for me so we can get that done so I can put this pie together. You know, the Duke is spoiled. I got to feed him, you know. Swamp Girl says, yesterday I was inclined to agree with the judge. Today I believe both guys are guilty. There was too much time to get their story. Yes. Nothing about this case makes sense, Swamp Girl. And this is why I talk about these things on my channel, because surely people are not watching this with a straight face. But I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to play the summarized version of how this case actually wrapped up in the end. You can find this also on my shorts, and you can also find this on my TikTok channel. If you guys are not subbed up to my TikTok, I don't do true crime. I do share some missing cases and things like that. Mind of Monsters, one of my mods, does a lot of her missing cases over there on TikTok. She does have a YouTube channel here, and she's a mod for me. But I try to support my friends that do missing content over on TikTok. We try to stand together as advocates that talk about facts and, you know, stay out of the drama part of it. But for me, TikTok is more about just, that's my fun place to do things. But I do share some things over there. And so if you want to sub up to my TikTok channel, I'll drop that link in the chat if you happen to be on TikTok. But let's play this. Let's play this short here. And then I have another short that somebody sent me. Thank you, Nonsense, for alerting me to this short. Somebody told me that I have a Krama baby, and I'm here for it. I'm flattered. I want to see it. So let's listen to the end of this here.
15 miles an hour trying to get away sounds like a reasonable trying to withdraw. I don't know what else you could have done to get away from there. It's immunity. And this not in fault and bringing on the difficulty, that's tricky, but credibility is huge here. I'm evaluating credibility of what I heard. I really question the credibility of Weldon Boyd. I really question the credibility of Weldon Boyd. I find his testimony lacking credibility in many places. And then whether you call it pursuit, following, or chasing, they know. Both guys in that truck know that the guy they're following at a rapid, trying to keep up, has got a gun. Stay back. He's acting like a fool. He was. Spivey was acting like a fool that day. No question about that. But foolish behavior don't require you to foolishly act yourself. And it seems that driving over 100 miles an hour trying to keep up with the guy with the gun is foolish. I find it incredible. And the testimony of Williams, still balancing that. He's got better credibility than Boyd. Phone calls Boyd made after the fact shows his I don't know, trying to get his story straight, maybe. Trying to get help, trying to make certain that they're going to be free and clear of any responsibility, liability, responsibility, whatever the word you want. I find that Mr. Boyd's request for immunity is denied. Boyd's request for immunity is denied.
And there it is. Swamp Girl. Swamp Girl, thank you so much. It's a Carolina thing. Thanks to you, DUTCHGIRLMB. Swamp, thank you so much for supporting the channel. I really appreciate you. Yes, Boyd was denied.
The older you do get, the more rules are going to try to get you to follow. You just gotta keep living, man. LIVIN. The older you do get.
Appreciate you so much, Swamp Girl, for supporting the channel. Dragon says, my heart goes out to the family. Much love, everyone. Thank you, Dragon. I appreciate you so very much. Yes, Boyd was denied immunity. He's still debating. I think he said that they're going to give 2 weeks, and I guess he's going to mull it over about Kenneth Bradley Williams. But in my opinion, I think immunity should be denied for him too, because he was complicit. He could have told him to stop at the very beginning and not to engage, and he didn't do that. And they can be taken to court at this point because they were never arrested. They were never charged. They never spent 1 minute in jail for taking Scott Spivey's life. And now they can possibly be taken to court and tried on criminal charges. So this is a plus. This is a win for the family, and I know they must be so relieved. That's why I wrote the song about Judge Griffin. If you guys were not here in the beginning, if you want me to play the song again, if you are just coming in, I'm happy to do that. But in the interim, somebody told me that I had a cryma baby, and now I have to go over here and cryma baby. I love cryma baby. If you guys are not subbed up to Cryma Baby's channel, if one of my mods can drop Cryma Baby's channel, y'all, if you need a laugh about the craziness on the YouTube streets, they take requests. And I was told that I have a Cryma Baby, and I'm so freaking excited. So, oh Lord, I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm already cussing. I'm scared. Hang on. All right, let me. I cannot. Help. Okay, babe, are you going to come listen to my Cryma Baby? I'm so excited. Thank y'all for dropping Cryma Baby's link. Look at my glasses. I actually have glasses, y'all, that look just like this. Let me share my screen so you guys can see this. Cryma Baby, thank you so much. Look, Rubber Ramada says, I haven't seen this. I'm excited. I'm so freaking excited. I cannot stand it. Babe, you have to come see my Cryma Baby. I haven't even seen it, and I've liked it. Wait a minute. Dutchie teaches us the scientific method. Y'all, I'm teaching the scientific method. I'm scared. Okay, we're waiting on the Duke. He bought me some brand new RGB multicolored outdoor solar lights, and he's in here playing with them. Come on.
Same ones, right?
Yeah, similar. They look good though. We had somebody pull in our driveway and run over one of our outdoor lights that I have in my driveway that are turquoise. So we had to Okay, this is Dutchie. I'm teaching apparently.
Oh, you got the tortoiseshell light
Those
glasses.
I have those glasses, right? Yes. Okay, all right. Buckle up, y'all. Get your tinfoil hats on. We might have to play this a couple of times. Okay, here we go. I'm scared.
Go.
Okay, I'm scared. Have your opinion, but stay the fuck over there because you're just trying to start your own narrative by telling lies. I bet you watch Bullhorn Betty because she thinks she knows. Oh, hang on, my volume's not up. She wants to be me. She wants to wear my skin, my clothes. She wants my husband. She wants to live this life. Bye, bitch. Carry on. Go be crazy over there, but stay away from me because I don't even think about you.
There's my balls.
Your ceiling is my floor, bitch. Period.
Period.
Crispy Tree says, be careful because Dutchie is the pod boss when she goes to prison. She runs shit around these parts. It's called the scientific method. Number one, you must first fuck around, and number two, in order to find out. It's logical.
They're going to stop requesting our cooking streams because everybody always says I'm the bad influence on everybody. The fuck? Have you met my fucking nonsense?
The tats are friggin' awesome on the baby.
Oh my God. Yo, I am done. What? Me in secret. I'm a terrible person. What a day. I'm a meanie. Have your opinion, but stay the fuck over there because you're just trying to start your own narrative by telling lies. I bet you watch Bullhorn Betty because she thinks she knows everything about me, honey. She wants to be me. She wants to wear my skin, my clothes. She wants my husband. She wants to live this life. Bye, bitch. Carry on. Go be crazy over there, but stay away from me because I don't even think about you.
There's my balls.
Your ceiling is my floor, bitch. Period.
Period.
Crispy Tree says, be careful because Dutchie is the pod boss when she goes to prison. She runs shit around these parts.
Hell yeah.
It's called the scientific method. Number one, you must first fuck around, and number two, in order to find out. It's logical.
They're going to stop requesting our cooking streams because everybody always says I'm the bad influence on everybody. The fuck? Have you met my
me in secret? I'm a terrible person. What a day. I'm a meanie. Have your
That was good. That was
on point. Tell me, put a 1 in the chat if you think this is accurate. Because it is.
Well, it's actually your own words.
It is. And
so,
it's
it has to be accurate.
And look how cute I am right there. And but you know,
she's all bundled up like you usually are, wearing a hoodie inside.
Yeah. My hair looking all wavy.
About got the same microphone on, except hers is upside down too. You see it?
I know it is the same microphone. Look at it. It's the same color.
Yeah. You just
that is accurate.
Hang yours upside down and it would be perfect, right?
Y'all, and look at Becky. She is so freaking adorable with the Nirvana shirt and the tattoos. Here's my balls.
Here's my balls.
Y'all, that is me.
I told on the golf course today, I told my boss man that he could feel free to wash my balls anytime because it was kind of nasty out there. You know,
babe,
it got wet.
Babe, what?
Yeah.
You told stop it. Y'all, this live is taking a turn to Duke getting his balls washed at the golf course.
Right.
Well, that's a good way to end the live stream, Lindsay. Okay, I have to play this one more time for good measure because Chroma Baby, shout out to you that mods could drop Chroma Baby's link again. Dutchie teaches the scientific method and Nonsense shows us her balls in this short video clip. Opinion, but stay the fuck over there because you're just trying to start your own narrative by telling lies. I bet you watch Bullhorn Betty because she thinks she knows everything about me, honey. She wants to be me. She wants to wear my skin, my clothes. She wants my husband. She wants to live this life. Bye, bitch. Carry on. Go be crazy over there, but stay away from me because I don't even think about you.
There's my balls.
Your ceiling is my floor, bitch. Period.
Period.
Look how cute she is.
Yeah.
Crispy Tree says, be careful because Dutchie is the pod boss when she goes to prison. She runs shit around these parts.
100%.
It's called the scientific method. Number one, you must first fuck around, and number two, in order to find out. It's logical.
They're going to stop requesting our cooking streams because everybody always says I'm the bad influence on everybody. The fuck? Have you met
It's
my
really
friend?
me in secret. I'm a terrible person. What a day. I'm a meanie. Have your opinion.
That's fact.
Nonsense is not a bad influence on me. I'm probably a bad influence on her. That's why I stay in the bushes, because sometimes my mouth, if I get started, I don't come a break, y'all. Let's see some of these comments. Chroma babies are the highlight of my day. Absolutely. The scientific method. Betty Damn Boot. Another adorable baby. You want to roll today? Chroma baby. Sue's absolutely loving the Chroma babies. Uh-oh, we got OG Earthy. Wonder where she's hiding that out. Oh my God, I love the baby Dutchie. My mouse does not want to.
That's a good likeness too. It really is.
Don't you think that looks like me?
Yeah.
Too cute, says Lovey.
There's my balls.
There's my balls. I cannot, says Tattoos. Oh my God, wait a minute.
There's my balls.
We got M.N. Greg. Oh my gosh. I gotta like all these comments, y'all. We got Phoebe. We got Sued. Oh, there's nonsense in the comments. Yes, and I'm gonna have to go leave me a comment after this. I just wanted to share this. There's Miss Liverbird. All my beautiful people over there. What a day. I'm a meanie, Pointer Lover says.
I love the bye bitch.
Bye bitch. Yeah, sometimes I can be a little too much to handle. I try to keep it together, y'all, on my live streams, but sometimes, you just gotta roll with the punches. Hey, Kay Kanuga. Hey, Lindsay. So good to see y'all. Hope y'all are doing good. Just wanted to share that. I saw that Nonsense texted me that, so thank you for sending that to me, and thank y'all for tuning in so that we could just give our own thoughts and opinions. Duke came home from playing golf with his company and gave us his thoughts about this Scott Spivey thing. Babe, what do you foresee that's going to happen? How do you think Judge Griffin is going to rule on
I think he had
Brad Williams
on Bradley Williams
immunity? Because he said he's going to have to think about it. I think he's given 2 weeks for some stuff to be submitted in.
He is along for the ride on that. I agree with that, but he has to be the voice of reason if he's not complicit or compliant with him, right? I mean, he would have to say, Weldon, pull over, man, or stop, just fight. I mean, I said that earlier.
Yeah,
you got to be the voice of reason when you know your buddy's a hothead. He knows it, and he's scared of him too.
Yeah, I kind of picked up on that.
Bradley Williams is scared of his friend Weldon Boyd.
So that's why he didn't say anything before the pursuit and all of this began.
Bradley's never been in a firefight before, which tells me when he's saying this that Weldon's been in more than a few. It sounds like.
I mean, yeah, who says that? I mean,
and he did good. He's an effing warrior. He stuck it out to the end and all that because that was the plan. There's a friend of mine from way back when that was a hothead like this, and he had a brand new Mustang, when they were hot, which they're still hot, but I mean, we got run off the road by a couple guys, and my buddy he had to run up on the curb, you know, so scuffed up his wheel, his tire, maybe knocked the front end on the line, but he looked immediately at me and went, "We're fighting." And we followed those guys all the way down to their restaurant, by the way. And
when was this?
And this is 100 years ago. I mean, it's so long ago, but it's a lot more than 2 years ago, and I can remember it like it happened yesterday, and there was never a shootout. But I told my buddy, who he whipped in right behind him, and he blocked me in where he was so close to another car where I couldn't even open the passenger door. And I said, just ask him what his problem is. I said, because by the time we got to him, I had done figured in my mind that he didn't even know that he ran us off the road. And I told my buddy, I said, if we can avoid a confrontation, that would be the best thing to do. I said, ask him what his problem is. Does he not know how to drive? Because he ran us off the road, but he didn't realize he did that. There's a double turning lane to the left, and he was on the inside lane, and he swung out too wide and come over into our lane. And my buddy had to hit the curb to keep from getting hit by this guy. That's what happened. But he didn't realize that he did that.
It wasn't anything intentional.
It wasn't intentional, but my buddy had planned on fighting. He said, "We're fighting. There's two of them, there's two of us. We're fighting." And initially I went, okay. But in the time that they pulled over and we pulled up behind them, I said, "Dude, ask him what his problem is," you know? And I said, and plus you blocked me in. I can't even get out of the car not unless I climb out the driver's side. So I'm not going to be much help. But
and then it was
Bradley
resolved.
Williams had plenty of time to talk his buddy down off the ledge to where they didn't have to go and force a confrontation with Scott Spivey. That's what I see.
Yeah.
In this whole thing. And evidently the judge sees it my way too. He said, you had plenty of time. Now, is Bradley Williams immune? I don't think so. I think he's a party in it. He said, I unloaded. I put a fresh clip in my gun and fired a few more times.
So he
unloaded on him.
Yeah.
And then reloaded and then fired a few more times.
Hey, Autumn, it's good to see
There's
you.
no complicit. There's no immunity for him either.
That's what I
because
hope
he's
that's
right
what-
there with it. He's
I agree.
in it.
I agree.
He's in it to the end,
I
just
think-
like his buddy
I
said.
think they should both be eligible to have the family to ask SLED to investigate from a criminal aspect in this case, because, you know, once again, these two people shot and killed Scott Spivey. They obviously did not qualify. Well, one of them, Weldon Boyd, didn't. And that should make him eligible to have to stand criminal trial for the death of Scott Spivey. And I do hope that Mark the Tiger Tinsley will be the attorney that will take that on. I mean, he has been in the Murdoch case. He has also been in the J.P. Miller case. He is well respected, and he did an excellent job.
Blowing holes in their
He did.
story.
Absolutely.
He did. He really blew it apart
He really did.
and made him look foolish.
And I think, you know, I have to have so much respect for Judge Griffith.
For recognizing that their story wasn't credible.
Yes, absolutely. And that is, you know, in turn, why I, you know, wrote the song about Judge Griffith. And you know, you haven't heard it,
I
have
have
you?
not heard it.
All right. So we'll close out with playing the song that I wrote about this immunity denied from Judge Griffith. And I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. The Duke says he wants a homemade chicken pot pie.
Bye, y'all.
So I've got to go get started on that. So I'm going to play you out with Judge Griffith. And please please, I ask you if you will please hit the like button and share this out. And again, thank you, Chroma Babies, for making the Dutch into a baby. That's so freaking cute.
That was cute.
Abellas, thank you
and
for being a
nonsense.
member for 14 months. I appreciate you so much supporting the channel. Here's my balls. Y'all make sure you go over there and watch that video, like it, leave a comment. I really appreciate. Sometimes these streets are crazy, and it's always good to have a laugh. And that really made my day. So, but thanks, guys, for everyone that has joined up on the membership, that has renewed their membership. Miranda, X, Hannah, Abellas, Swamp Girl, thank you for the donation. I really appreciate you guys so very much. It helps me to keep the channel going. So I appreciate all the moderators coming by and welcoming everybody in. Y'all stay safe out in these streets. Everything's on fire out there. Wear your helmets and your waders and your tinfoil hats while you're out there. And I'll see y'all around the YouTube streets. Bye, y'all.
Horry County morning, courthouse smell of rain. Spivey family in the courtroom, mama shaking from the pain. Highway 9 in my rear view, still burning to my mind. 9 long miles of anger, you can't call that self-defense this time. He tried to wrap himself in that law, tried to wear it like a crown, but the truth kept cutting through, and the judge laid the hammer down. Judge Griffith in that wooden chair said, wasn't immunity tonight, it's only fair. You chased that man for 9 long miles, you ain't credible in my eyes. Tonight is pleased, tonight this time, based on the statements, based on law. Scott should be here today, no question at all. This is my rule, and this is how it stands. Immunity denied, boy. You got blood on your hands. Stand your ground, law is guidelines. Every witness testified, but the story kept on changing when Well tried to explain his why. He pursued Scott like a shadow down Highway 9 in a high-speed chase. You can't call this fear when you are the pursuer in this case. Try to twist that righteous rule with lies up to his neck, but the gavel hit the table and snapped that judge's power back in check. Judge Griffith in that wooden chair said, well, on immunity tonight, it's only fair. You chased that man for 9 long miles. This ain't mercy, this is terror. Denied that plea, said not this town. Trying to bring the good old boy system down. Yeah, Highway 9 gonna hear this sound. Trying to bring the good old boy system down. Hey. For every back row whisper, for every lie they tried to hide, for every mama dressed in black standing at the witness side, we ain't bowing to that handshake done in smoke-filled little rooms. We got fire in these voices, let it echo like a boom, like a boom. Oh. Judge Griffith in that wooden chair said, well, on immunity tonight, it's only fair. You chased that man for 9 long miles, you ain't credible in my eyes. Tonight is plea, tonight this time, based on the statements, based on law. Scott should be here today, no question at all. This is my rule, and this is how it stands. Immunity denied, boy. You got blood on your hands. You got blood on your hands.
God will execute just and final judgment upon the wicked, rendering to each according to their deeds.
Thank you very much. I hope everybody has a fantastic day. If you're watching this on the replay, I appreciate you so very much. Bye, y'all.